Oh.
Alright, we are live. Welcome, Anime Lady fans, and I'm here doing a Samurai 8 discussion with a bunch of people here. Came on here to be a nice little panelist group, a little nice round table of discussion of Samurai 8. I want them to introduce themselves. Don't go all at the same time.
I guess I'll go first then. My name's Deblakte. I just started my channel about 3 months ago. I only do Samurai 8, so come through.
Buddy, my name is Packergirl 89, and I run the YouTube channel Nerdigans Inc. And I've been covering all sorts of manga since it was a book channel in 2015, since like 2016, and I cover just about everything, including Samurai 8, Dr. Stone, Hajime no Ippo, Detective Conan, which I got to record after this. And of course, one of my most popular ones right now, besides Attack on Titan, is Go Toba no Hanayome, which is an amazing series. If you
What's up, everybody? It's Light on Films, and I cover Samurai on my channel, Black Clover the anime, and some other stuff in between. So yeah, that's my introduction right there.
But yeah, here we came here to discuss about the series Samurai 8, Tales of Hachimaru. How is it? How has it been going since chapter 1 through chapter 30? It just dropped with the scans this weekend. Tomorrow from Viz, it will be dropping officially chapter 30. But we're here to discuss that. Has it been? Why did we start reading it first and all that? So I want to first give it to the panel of why did we choose to read Samurai 8, and was it because of Kishimoto?
I'll go first. Part of it was because of Kishimoto, because I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I binge read all of Naruto and Boruto manga, and at the time it was at chapter 11 in 6 days. And I love Kishimoto's work. And also, there was so much hype around Samurai 8. And I think that's about, that would be about it for me.
All right, so the reason I got into Samurai 8 is one, Kishimoto, like Packergirl said, but also, it's because Kishimoto. That's it. Because Kishimoto is my favorite mangaka of all time. So any work he makes, I'm gonna read it. And I also heard a lot of great. Well, before Samurai 8 came out, like there was that teaser manga trailer, which I never seen a manga have a trailer for it, and I was like, what? And
really?
Then I was like, okay.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in. There's several manga trailers.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Go to Japanese Twitter.
Really?
Well,
that was the first. That was the first one.
That's the first I ever seen ever. Like I've never seen anything like this. I was like, what? There's a trailer for a manga? Obviously, it's Masashi Kishimoto, one of the best mangaka of all time. But and then the sci-fi element, I was really interested on how Kishimoto was going to tackle that into the shonen, formula and stuff. Because to this point, I never read a sci-fi manga. I know there's like Ghost in the Shell and other sci-fi manga, but I was like, okay, this should be interesting.
Hey, go read Eden Zero, bro. It's fire.
Yeah, I read Eden Zero as well.
Yes, the Eden Zero crew, shout out.
Don't worry.
Eden Zero is amazing.
Don't worry. We are gonna discuss the similarities between Eden Zero and Samurai in a bit, but for myself, I read Samurai 8 is because as you guys said, Kishimoto did it, and as all of us did, we also grew up with Naruto, the series, the anime, and how the series has gone so far. Naruto ending, and then him doing Samurai 8. It was pretty curious to know what was his next series, and also being sci-fi, since we don't really see that in a lot of manga. So like, all right, so I want to check this series out. So with this series coming out, I felt like it was too overdosed with a lot of info, but I was like, okay, I really want to check the series out of how so much thoughts went into it and what was his process. He came up with why he wanted to do it, and it took him, I think, 3 to 4 years to do it. After he finished his first series, Naruto, so I was really happy to see him come out with another one. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like with chapter one, like I'm not a manga reader where I'm like, oh, if we get too much information, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop the series. But I do have to admit, chapter one, like Kishimoto did too much. Like I understand he was trying to explain the world and the powers, well, not the power system, right? But like how things work. But you know, as a new reader, if somebody never watched Naruto or anything like that, didn't come from that series, because there's a lot of fans of Samurai 8 that never, you know, checked out Kishimoto's previous work. And if I'm a new manga reader, I don't know who Kishimoto is, and I read the first chapter and you keep tossing information to me, you know, that's going to make me discouraged and might even drop the series. And when I read chapter one, I was like, okay, I gotta keep going because this is Kishimoto. But if I was like like I said, a new manga reader, and this is like one of my first manga, I would be like, okay, I gotta check something else out because this is not it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what do you get?
Okay, I understand that.
Well, this is when you kind of have to compare it to Eden Zero, because remember, with Eden Zero by Hiromashi, the pacing for the first chapter was so perfect, and we went to space, like an off planet, by the end of chapter one. And then with Samurai 8, the pacing is so slow. It was starting to frustrate the hell out of me.
So I think a big part of where that issue came in is like it was basically 100 chapters of like the first two chapters combined was like I think about like 120. I think the first one was like 70, and then the second chapter was like close to 40. But I think it was just so long and it was so much information just being thrown at you, but you didn't feel like there was a payoff coming. It was just like you were just reading to read at that point.
Very true.
And especially going into the second chapter, if you're not really feeling the first chapter, you know, it's like, who is this, you know, random, you know, samurai who has this, I mean, not even a samurai, like, why are we not leaving the planet? Like, why are we still here? You know, but for me, I'm a huge One Piece fan, and so I started with Naruto, obviously, but One Piece gave me something different, in terms of like storytelling and like the aspect of it, and I really enjoy like the complexity of the story. And so reading Samurai for me, it was like, oh, okay, this is very refreshing versus starting like some of the newer shonen manga where it's like it throws you right into the story.
And another thing with the beginning of Samurai 8 for me, and a lot of people do agree, is the pacing was all out of place. Like, okay, like Packergirl said, the first chapter, the pacing was way too slow. And not only the first two chapters, it was like the first like 10, 15 chapters.
Yes,
like
it was like, I agree with you. It was definitely like the first 10, maybe 11 chapters. It was just like, oh my god, just get to space already.
And not only that, it's like some chapters, the pacing was super fast. Another chapter, the pacing was slow. And then another chapter, the pacing was good. I was like, what is Kishimoto doing? But now, like, as I keep reading, I like the pacing now. It's like more of a moderate speed, and that's a good thing. Yeah. And not only that, in the beginning, the art style was not good. Like, it was
very clunky.
Yeah, it was hard to follow some stuff. I was missing stuff when I was reading it. And then Okubo, which is the artist of Samurai 8, you know, he improved his art style, so I really appreciate the effort he went with that, you know, to make it more appeasing to the readers and stuff like that.
Oh, I agree with that, because the most thing that really threw me off and I wanted to react to the series or talk about it with Sam on the channel is because the art was the worst part for me. The story is fine. The story is complex. It's very, felt like it was too much influence to way too many people. And when you only have 3 chapters in, but you get 60, 40, and then 20 pages, you felt like it was too much. And the thing that I couldn't really follow with the story was the art, because the art was too white. And that really threw me off as a reader, but as a person that reacts to manga. Like I can't tell where is the art going, where is the story going, because wait, should I read left, right? Because the art felt like it was too white. You couldn't tell the difference between the foreground and the background, and to me that was too. It was too simplistic, and I wanted something that I seen that's beautiful as One Piece, as good as Eden Zero, other series that has great art and detail, and you could tell the series between a good foreground and background, and that's the number one complaint I've always had with Samurai until chapter 14 or 15 is when I saw the big improvement and difference that my man Okubo finally did with the art of Samurai, and he finally got used to what he wanted to do with the art style of the series.
I think a big part of what happened at the beginning is, his detail started to get better as we started to go more towards outer space. And that's because, it requires him to have to shade in a lot. And I think now he's starting to fill in more detail as he's starting to draw. And that's where he lacked at the beginning, where he was trying to make the setting more peaceful, more, more beautiful, more, trying to bring you in and engulf you into the world around him before he gets to the more serious stuff.
But again, like you look at Eden Zero, like look at the first chapter of Eden Zero and see what Mashima did with that art, because he didn't have so much white and he built that world like beautifully with the black.
Yeah,
amount of black that
well,
he used.
And we have to remember, it's not Kishimoto who, is doing this. This is he does like storyboard, I guess, like kind of like setting up the paneling. But Okubo, this is like his first real piece of work. So it's like I feel like he deserves that little bit of leeway.
Because he was just an assistant like artist on other mangakas stuff, but this is like the first official manga, like he's doing all the art and stuff. So I see the improvement there, and
oh yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely happy with that and stuff. But yeah, we still could criticize like the art in the first few chapters. Like
it was way too like.
Yeah, it was bad.
But something that's been really getting me with the writing, and I've been loving it, is how the 8 fits in, because we've had 2 instances of 8 so far, which is Hachimaru's brother, so to speak, and he's the 8th one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just had with Anne's backstory, we found out how her brother was going to be considered the 8th, and that 8th meant like nameless and Nanashi and all that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
that was great.
Oh yeah, with story-wise, Mame Kishimoto's doing well. He's doing much better with the current past 10 chapters. He's doing much better. And I feel like he really needed to let this whole prologue go. Like this long 1 chapter to chapter 16. I feel like it was a long prologue. I feel like it could have been condensed much better. But I feel like the only reason that the series itself did not get axed is because himself, it is Kishimoto himself.
Definitely. So in me and Light's last stream, we were talking about Samurai 8, and we were talking about how nowadays you don't really get a lot of time to set up your story the way Kishimoto did, right? Like a lot of the newer shonen manga, if it were to start off that slow, of course it's gonna get axed, but Kishimoto has his name attached to it, so they're going to give him a little bit more time. But I was talking about how One Piece, like Hitman Reborn,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've watched Hitman Reborn, but that's fantastic. But but like it started off so slow to the point where it's like, 20 episodes. I have to watch 20 episodes before it gets good. Like, that would have got axed. I feel like it would have got axed in today's society, version of Shonen Jump, because I feel like
I don't know if I can agree with that though, because again, that's the manga versus the anime at that point.
Yeah.
But the manga like drew me in right away, and it's kind of the same thing with we talked about this before we started. The same as Mission Yozakura Family. It drew you in.
Oh yeah.
Immediately in the first chapter, at least for me anyway.
Oh, same here. It threw me in as well. I will have to 100% agree. It's just that with and also with Hachimaru, he as a main character, I feel like he grew himself in slowly. I feel like he didn't become himself knowing that he's an MC until much later in the chapters. I feel like he was way too
Yep.
slow knowing that, oh wait, crap, I'm the MC of the character. Oh wait, my father just died, he got killed. So I just became the MC character by getting a trope that's most common to all MC characters, that I get the father killed, and then he has to say that he's gonna avenge his father. So that's when I felt like he actually became the MC of his story.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because
Okay.
I think he got a further purpose behind it, but he always wanted to be a samurai. I don't know if you guys checked out like chapter point one or whatever, but it's on like 3 or 4 pages. It's on Shonen Jump, and like he's praying to a shooting star, and he's like praying for all these things that he wants, like the different type of foods he wants to be off the drip. But he's like, forget all that. I just want to be a samurai. And he has like, I feel like he has this connotation. He had a connotation in his mind, a false reality of what a samurai was until that point. Because I feel like that was the whole point of building up Hachimaru to that point, to show like, hey, like being a samurai isn't what you think it is. Because Daruma, give me 1 second. Daruma, even when he was talking to Hachimaru, he's like, don't worry about my past, or you're gonna learn eventually, when he was talking about what a princess meant. And like he just had all these very serious tones, as to where Hachimaru was more like, oh, I'm gonna be, Fudomyo.
Yeah. Now, I actually agree with Vash's point.
Mhm.
Because he said, when his Hashimaru's father died, that's when he became the main character. Obviously, he was the main character before that, but I know what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Because at that moment, like before that, Hashimaru, he had his samurai power and stuff. But the thing was, he was still like a brat. Once he got his powers, he's like, I don't care what my father says. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I could do what. And then after his father dies, he realizes like, oh wow, I was acting like a spoiled brat, even though throughout all his life he was on the IV drip, couldn't really do anything. And when he's locked away at home and can't even go outside, obviously that's gonna put a little bit of resentment towards his father. But then he realizes at the end of the day, his father was doing all of this to protect him, and he loved his father. And obviously, yes, it's cliche with the "I'm gonna avenge my father" stuff. But Hashimaru did grow as a character, and that's when he finally realized, like, what a samurai. Because I know you said Hashimaru has his own idea of what a samurai is.
Yeah.
But at that moment, he grew more as a person.
Yeah.
And, on his path to actually... He's still a samurai, but I just feel like Hashimaru is still on his path to truly become 100% a samurai in terms of mindset and everything. He's not there yet.
100% agree.
Yeah, we see it. Well, we saw it on the planet, too, like in this recent arc, too, when Hachimaru awakened, which was badass as hell. I loved when he awakened. And talking about the Trinity. I thought that was really interesting.
I think he's doing such a good job of handling Hachimaru's character at this point. But I feel like if we didn't get everything at the beginning, we wouldn't understand where we are right now.
Do you guys
that
think,
makes sense?
Do you guys think that he got too overpowered too fast, or got his his ability of being a samurai too fast and start where he feels like he's already a good planetary or a good city power already, or do you think it's just right for the story, it fits to where he's going?
I think it's getting washed by a lot of people.
You mean Hachimaru in terms of how strong he is right now?
Yeah.
Oh no, Hachimaru's still getting slapped by like a lot. Like we haven't even seen.
That's what I was thinking too. Like Hachimaru would totally get slapped. I don't know how this fight with Benki's gonna go down. If like Hachimaru gonna, sorry, I'm spoiling this. If Hachimaru gonna escape or not to go fight Benki. But seriously, can Kotsuga just get the kill on Benki, please? He needs it.
He needs it for his character.
But I don't think that Kotsuga, aka Sanda, I don't think he's gonna kill Benki. I think he's gonna, maybe his friends are gonna help him and stuff like that. But Hachimaru, this point in the series, he's strong enough where he could match Ryu now, Well, Rio still doesn't have his memories, right? So
Yeah.
the Rio without his memories and no princess, yes. But if
No
Rio gets the
holder.
princess and gets his memories back,
He's gonna become
Like,
OP
I think-
as hell.
No
Oh,
holder,
yes,
bro.
I agree with
No
that.
holder.
It's still-
Really,
it's
before
like
was already OP.
yeah, I agree with that because it's still crazy to believe that my dude Hachimaru consider himself a win just because he won 32-1. I'm like, Hachi, no matter what, that's still a loss, my guy. You are a 1-20. You are a 1-32 ratio. You lost.
UKD is trash.
You have a horrible ratio. You have a negative number as a ratio. There's no in way in hell that's considered a win. Yeah, you did upskill him by
He commits. Do you remember that? I don't know if you guys play Modern Warfare 2, but do you remember that martyr perk where you would drop a grenade after you died?
Oh
I
yeah.
remember
And
that.
then that's basically what Hachimaru did, basically.
And I just can't wait until Ryu gets his memory and the princess. Now I want to see that rematch and actual fight. I want to see how Ryu can actually whoop my man Hachimaru's ass in the most kindest way for him not to do something stupid again. But I want to see him actually how skillful can he be.
And I'm glad that Hachimaru, his progression is going to be slow, and I'm good. I'm happy about that because I just don't want a character to randomly, I'm super overpowered now. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, we did see him defeat some people, but they're like low tier characters. Like, they were not like super overpowered characters. Even the Ronin Samurai in the beginning of the series, like he was not like overpowered or anything. Like when you compared characters to Atta, like. We saw a clone of him fight. A clone, and he was that powerful. Like,
Something I just keep thinking about, and that's happened in this past arc, is did you guys pick up that Disney roast that was going on?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, that
It was so amazing. I started dying when I saw that. I was like, I thought, because then Karen Children just did a Disney reference too, and it was great. But this was just amazing. I loved how they fucking went after Disney.
yeah.
It was just so loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
was great.
Also, I think that was the Star Wars reference.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, there's references to Star Wars.
There's a lot of Star Wars reference here. It's just like how I see it. Light is that Samurai 8 is like the Star Wars. Eden Zero is like the Star Trek. That's how I see it as.
Oh yeah, I agree with that because of
that's
the
how,
ship and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's how I've always have seen it since with Eden Zero first came out last year or a year and a half ago. I'm like, this reminds me a lot of Star Trek because my mom always hasn't been a fan of Star Trek. Me, I just know about the series. And me, I love Star Wars. But I'm like, all that's missing is a good Star Wars manga. And then a year later, we get a nice Star Wars series that is Samurai 8. Bad start, but it's getting better. I'm like, okay, this is that competition. If they continue growing at this pace and get those nice nods, it would become a great little nice battle between the two in the future.
The reference I was gonna mention was when Ryu showed that he had two samurai souls, and then he had the two samurai soul swords. He was holding it in a way where I was like, "Is that a reference to like the new Star Wars trilogy, the last movie with Evil Rey?" I don't know if it was.
No, actually, no. That was a reference. That was a reference to Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
Oh, Darth Maul.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I got was the Darth Maul vibe.
Oh yeah, that's a Darth Maul. If I'm correct. Well, when we covered that with a little clickbait title in that with Darth Maul in there because it's like how he did it with Darth Maul. I'm like, wait a minute, is this Darth Maul in here? To him having little twin swords, a little nice twin lightsaber style. So that was really nice and cool that they could actually do that, and a lot of people could see those type of reference with it. Star Wars, Star Trek with that.
Yeah. In the chat, Ryan said Hachimaru is an even city level. He can't even beat Ryu. He will get slapped by most people in the series.
Oh, that's definitely true.
That's fair.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for, especially if it wasn't for Daruma awakening him, he would have gotten his ass slapped like hella early.
I'm not gonna lie. Like the Daruma stuff where, he was like, I'm going to be immobile for a while after using my, obviously his true body, his regular body. I was disappointed because I was expecting him to be like paralyzed or something, wheelchair bound for years. No, he goes to sleep for a longer time. And the thing with Daruma is like, I know the master and student thing, but at the end of the day, if he's always around with Hachimaru, at the back of my mind, it's gonna be like, oh, if Hachimaru is fighting somebody that's too strong, his sensei is gonna help him all the time, and I'm like, I want him to grow and get defeated once in a while and like learn. Obviously, he knows defeat, obviously because he's surreal that much. But I'm talking about a villain like that's about to kill him and maybe spares his like lets him live and like get stronger next time, kid, or something like that.
I think we might get a Jiraiya moment with Daruma because Daruma is weakening. Like with each time, I think it was in the backstory chapter where he was they were talking about like how he'd only be able to use this power. Then like he has to be immobile for a while. But like I just have this feeling in the back of my mind that we're gonna get a Jiraiya moment out of him when because I got a feeling he's gonna die at some point.
Oh yeah, he's definitely dying at some point.
I get the death vibes from Daruma heavy.
I just hope he don't die anytime soon until he at least trains Hachimaru a bit more, where he's actually skilled enough to actually take at least average good samurais instead of low beginners. Because that's why I'm hoping that Daruma, and at least Daruma could show his true power, his true strength. That's what I'm hoping to see as well. Because Daruma, we've seen him be in the game before, how strong he is. We just don't know how he is currently in person. And I wanted him to actually reveal that more power as much as he can before he dies.
Oh, I definitely want. I don't know if you guys have read what's that manga called? Not Manual. Tower of God.
Heard of it? Haven't read it.
Oh,
I
bro,
heard of it,
fire.
but I haven't checked it out.
Go check out Tower of God. Well, no, it's kind of mid in the third season, but the first two seasons are fine. But anyways, there's like a moment where they're all attacked by like really strong, like overpowered characters, and I feel like that's gonna be the Ususama style, obviously. And I think Daruma is gonna be forced to sacrifice himself.
It's even more.
Not with Valkyrie.
I haven't watched Valkyrie.
No,
she's talking about From Eden Zero.
Valkyrie.
Dude, I'm like chapter 20. All right.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Oh God.
No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers.
But wait, since we're at it, want to compare now Eden Zero to between Samurai?
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about like Shiki, comparing Shiki to Hachimaru as a main first.
As a MC so far, it's hard to compare between Eden Zero that's almost at 80 chapters and Samurai that's about 30 chapters. So I would say,
I'm talking about where Shiki's character was around this time.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly gonna bring up. That around this time, Shiki just got his only second witch. So I will say that so far, comparing to both series in their chapter 30s, I will say Shiki is my favorite still.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would that's my stand, because I feel like Shiki from a MC point of view, he knew the power of friendship already. He knew the whole idea of him being the MC character. He knew that he had to accept the loss of his whole plan and all that, but he had to move along and had to just travel with these people, Rebecca, and learn from Happy and these people, and learn that he's now has a new role as a Demon King and all that. So as a character, I enjoy my man Shiki as a Demon King more than Hachimaru so far.
I have to agree, because Shiki knows what he's doing. He knows what he's after, even though Hachimaru does know what he knows what he's gonna do, or what he has to do. But like, the adventure is just so interesting with Shiki, especially now. But it's just interesting to see how he's grown as a character, especially since he wasn't around humans at all, to like how he's adapted to being around humans.
I like that. Let me see. So I just started catching up a few days ago. So
yeah. So what are your thoughts so far?
I went through. So I didn't really like the first chapter. I don't really know why. I just felt. Yeah. I don't know why, but I felt like it was it took me a while to get adjusted to the art style, I guess.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was too much like fairy tale in space, because that was the
Oh,
vibe
no,
I
no,
got
no,
from
no.
it, and it kind of pissed me off, especially since
Yeah.
Orient came out, and
Yeah.
Orient is so original. Well, now it's getting some Black Clover vibes going on up in there, but like at the time with the first chapter, it was so original, and I was just like, "What the hell is this, Mashima? Why are you doing fairy tale in space when we got this? We got Orient. That's just such an original concept, an original story going."
Yes, yes. And so like I felt like it was gonna be like a rehash of Fairy Tail, so I was like, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. And so I've been seeing like pictures of the art lately, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty dope. Let me go check it out. So I read chapter one when it first came out, and so now that I've recently caught up, I like the story where they were on what was that planet that was eaten by the Chromafate? I think
I
that's
know
what
The
it's called.
Chronophage?
I know what you're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the corner face was
so
pretty cool.
I love Weiss so much. He is my boy. I'm sorry I have to spoil Eden Zero.
No,
but
you're
I
okay.
love him as Arsenal. I love it. I love the poses. I love the great
I
Sandman
agree.
vibes I get from him. And
Mhm.
I 100% agree,
Super
Packergirl.
Common Rider and shit. Oh,
My favorite part is him as well, because him in Heroes is a gold treasure. Him say
Yes!
Moscow boobs too. So it's Moscow is literally the comedy relief of my favorite. So I definitely say that you will enjoy Moscow. The more you see him in the series, the more that
Okay.
especially Moskoy and Ichiya.
Oh,
Just amazing.
that's the best. That's just gold comedy there, and he knows what he's doing with it, and that's what I enjoy about it.
I like Pino, the robot they met from the planet.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested in that. I like the Urzer look-alike. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, same here. I forgot her name too.
Oh, Elsie?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Elsie.
Elsie, yeah.
So at first I was like, "Oh, come on, we're not gonna do this." But she actually interests me now. I think overall, Eden Zero does a good job of getting you immersed into the world a lot faster. Like,
By the way,
you want.
Homura is best girl, period.
Yes, I agree. Homura
She
is best
I
girl.
love Homura so much.
And I'm happy Hiro Mashima knows that. That's why you get so many nice etchy shots and cover pages of her. No.
The best part is Mashima ain't like completely Mashimaing shit, especially when it comes to Valkyrie. That made me happy. I was so scared he was gonna pull a fairy tale, but remember, I'm sorry I'm spoiling fairy tale, but remember when we thought Juvia was dead and she came back to life? I was like, what the fuck is that for?
So then I'm really happy about that too. We don't want to spoil for any Eden Zero fans that are not fully caught up, but yeah, definitely Valkyrie is one of the MVPs, and Homura is another MVP, and she is waifu material. I'll say that. And
yes, she is. Especially, well, the thing is for me, because for those of you that don't know what's going on, I'm going through a really bad grieving process. My boyfriend died in September, and my friend died a couple weeks. And around the time that my boyfriend died, Homura, I'm sorry I'm spoiling Eden Zero, but Homura was really related, and it like I just felt so inspired just seeing her get up because she was so broken, and she said, I can't stay here anymore. I just got to keep moving forward. As soon as she said that, I was like, that's my favorite character, because it gives me hope that I can like push through this situation.
I'm glad it did, because it was a very beautiful moment of what she did, and plus the same goes for you as well. Just take those words to heart.
Yeah.
All right, so I have the unpopular opinion because I actually do like Hachimaru better than Shiki as a character.
All right,
Thank you.
Please tell.
Ooh, okay, let's hear it.
One because Shiki to me as a character reminds me too much of Natsu, and I never really liked Natsu that much as a main character in Fairy Tail, to tell you the truth. My favorite character in Fairy Tail is Laxus, but yeah. And not only that, Shiki, I like that he's your typical shonen main character where he's like, I gotta protect my friends. Obviously, every shonen character is like that. And then he's trying to make, well, like Packergirl said, he's like not really used to interacting with other humans and things like that, because he's like, hey, you want to be my friend? Yeah, and then somebody is trying to kill him. He's like, "Hey, you want to be my friend now?" And they're like, "What?" Like stuff like that.
I love
Yeah.
Rebecca's responses. They're so
Yes.
amazing.
I
They're
do
like,
agree on
what?
that.
But the thing with Hashimaru, I like that we got like this frail kid in the beginning of the story, which I guess some people could relate to. But not only that, he's a gamer as well. Like he plays video games. He's like a normal kid that wishes he was a samurai. But he has a sad backstory. Shiki has a sad backstory as well. His father got no, his father didn't get killed. I think he died or something.
Yeah,
like
he
the
just
former
died.
demon.
I think he just died.
The-
Yeah.
Well, it was a
Yeah, the
double
former
manga.
Demon
We
King
don't
and
know
stuff
who
like.
Shiki's parents are yet.
Yeah, I count the Demon King his father for now. But I just think that Hashimaru, I'm not gonna lie to you, like in terms of progression, I just like his path to progression better than Shiki's, and I like his character overall better than Shiki. Like Shiki's a cool character, but when it comes to powers, obviously Shiki takes the cake. But I'm not even looking at powers. I'm just like personality wise and how each character kind of changed and stuff because Hashimaru changed a lot in like only 30, I believe. Yeah, 30 chapters, and then the official chapter come out tomorrow.
Yep.
And like only 30 chapters, he has changed a lot. And I cannot say the same for a lot of other shonen protagonists as well. Not just Eden Zero, like even like some of the big three, like some of the characters that really didn't change that much in 30 chapters. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I just
Are we gonna get
resonate
some
more.
Deku slander up in here?
Oh damn.
No,
Sorry, I don't
stop.
like Deku at all. I'm a Bakugo girl. I love him so much. But the best character in Boku no Hero Academia is definitely Duster, and because I'm including vigilantes up in here. No one beats Knuckle Duster for me.
Endeavor, alright.
Knuckle Duster's backstory is better.
I haven't watched. Is Villain really good?
You gotta read Vigilante Boku no Hero Academia Illegals, especially now, because it's finally tying in to the main.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get out then. But I agree with that point that I was talking about, where we don't really get a lot of protagonist growth.
But do you think that's more in the rush about Kishimoto wanting to show about the progression about Hachimaru, and plus with the series not just being all full prologue, more about showing that he has to grow, he has to move on, and like as a character, it's just more about trying to show us as fans that we have to accept that this is a sci-fi story, and that a lot of people have said that they're not a big fan of Samurai's. They're not a big fan of Samurai 8. It's because it's such sci-fi and it's such a lot of backstory. So do you think that's why that he had to really help his character MC to, move fast with stuff?
The thing is, like, even with the progression of Hashimaru, if it's fast or not, like, some people are still never going to get into the series, or some people will not like the series because at the end of the day, it's sci-fi, right? And Kishimoto chose to tackle like something in a show, like besides Eden Zero, in shonen manga where a lot of mangakas they just shy away from that. They're like, okay, that's too much, that's challenging, or I don't feel like doing this. And not only that, Kishimoto, I think there was an interview, he himself said like, look, I could just went the Naruto route and then did another, not Naruto, but a generic shonen, and it I'm not gonna lie to you, if
it would slap way harder, bro. It would slap way harder.
Yeah, if Kishimoto did another shonen, like, with generic themes and things like that, easy to understand the first chapter, it'll probably have sold like at least 50 to 80,000 copies like the first couple of days. But he wanted to challenge himself, he wanted to do something different, and I'm not gonna lie, he is doing something different because besides Eden Zero, there's not, I don't think, obviously a Gravity Boys is here now, but before that happened,
there was Astra too, which is a really good manga. Read it. It's better than the anime. The anime sucked all the comedy out of it.
Yeah, there's nothing really that that's sci-fi like that in Shonen Jump magazine right now, besides those little bit of series. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, and in terms of Hashimaru's progression, I like that he got so much progression in so little time, because this not even like, I just see Samurai 8 going for at least more than 100 chapters, like at least 250 chapters around there, or even more than that. And characters will change and grow as time goes on, and obviously Shonen Jump and Shonen manga in general tend to have time skips. And if there's a time skip, we'll probably like a couple years from now, if Samurai 8 still ongoing, we'll see a different version of Hashimaru than we have right now as well.
Oh yeah,
So,
I definitely. If you bring it up, I do see as well 300. It's like rough, with the series. I do see 300. Most mangaka do switch up and go 350 or 400, but I do see 300, 200 is sweet spot with the way the series is going, and with its number 8. I would laugh if he tries to go with chapter 888 to end it with. If he tries to go,
I see it happening
That'd
though.
be
Like,
legendary.
we might get a
I
One
can
Piece
see that.
scenario.
if he
Yeah.
tries to do that, go. All right, guys. The last chapter, 888. I'm like, really, Kishimoto. You have to do this for another 8 years. Wow. Okay. Cool. Let's go for another. Wow. But if he does that,
So,
I get the props. I just don't expect it to happen.
so, oh, but something I want to touch on. So the thing that I like about Hachimaru the most is that I'm just sick and tired of like the perfect main character
Oh, you mean the
thing
Gary
that.
Stews or the Mary Sues?
Yeah, it's like there's like they're perfect.
Really?
It's like
Shiki ain't perfect.
no, not Shiki, not
Unless
Shiki. I'm
Deku and
not
Asuka
like,
not perfect.
bro.
What? Come on, Deblakte, get it out, man.
I
Bro,
don't see.
come-
I don't see
They're,
Deku
okay,
perfect.
they're not perfect in the sense that in terms of growing, like in terms
My
of
dude
what they're trying
Deku,
to.
my dude Deku used to cry like a little bitch back in the first arc and the first manga. He used to cry all the time. He
No,
was
I'm not
going.
talking. I'm not talking about that
Not
specifically.
perfect. He's been getting his
I'm-
ass whooped lately.
I'm okay. I'm okay with showing emotion. It's just like their ideals and their way of being and their way of thinking is just like perfect, and they can't do anything wrong. Like obviously, he's gonna have to, overcome some things to get to the point where he's going. But I'm just like the standard stereotypical like Gon, where
Like,
like they're too perfect.
or like for example, for example, Asta. He wants to be the next Wizard King. The same thing for Deku. He wants to be the number one hero. Hachimaru don't really have that type of goal. He just wants to avenge his father and really kind of save the planet in a way, or save the cosmos. So is that what you mean, kinda?
Like no, well, like I think like his character is being handled in like a different way, where it's like I don't see the growth in like in terms of character, like as changing in terms of like a Asta or a Deku and like their 200 chapters. I feel like they've just basically kind of just stayed the same, but they've just gotten boosted power ups from like their fights and whatnot. Like I don't know if.
Kind of disagree because
Mhm.
I don't read the Black Clover manga. I only watch the
Mhm.
anime. But in My Hero
You're missing out,
Academia,
dude. You are missing out.
But the manga's fire.
I don't read I don't read the manga just because I just cover the anime on my channel.
Uh-huh.
But in My Hero Academia, Midoriya has changed a lot, like Vash did say. Like he used to be a crybaby, which nothing wrong with that, but now he's like more mature as a character, and he always analyzes things when he fights and things like that. But I do think he has grown as a character mentally as well as physically, because now with this, I don't want to really spoil anything, but with the addition of more layers to his power, like he has to learn how to control those layers as well. And he has went through a lot, like seeing his master lose his power and things like that, the person he admired, and learn like, okay, I have to step up now. Like I can't, yes, I'm a student, but I can't lag behind like these villains.
Yeah, I have a rebuttal to that. So
Yeah, go.
the thing about Deku, right, is that he's always been analytical from the beginning, right? He's always been the guy that will jump into things for his friends or the people, he's always had that. So for me, it's like seeing that as he goes forward and he's growing and whatnot, it doesn't make me feel like there's growth there for him as a person, I guess.
I agree with you. Like, especially if you compare like Deku to Kimetsu no Yaiba and seeing he's grown as a person, especially in that fight against Akaza. Oh my god! Especially comparing to when he fought Akaza the first time. Oh my god! There's so much growth, and there's so much to Tanjiro's character, and it's so. God, I love Katoge's writing so much.
It's like I can't get it's just like it's like they're already where they're supposed to be in terms of being in the future. Like,
so, like
they
mentally,
just
right?
their body just doesn't match it. Yeah, mentally. It's
So
like
that-
they're mentally perfect.
So the question to that, since they're both from the same author, but not really right now currently, Hachimaru and Boruto, who's the better MC then currently right now, manga-wise, not anime?
That's easy.
We're talking about Boruto manga, right? We're not talking about
manga, not anime.
Oh, thank God. My favorite character is Kawaki.
I'm speaking about the MC, not the side characters.
I know. I'm thinking. Hold on.
I'm taking Hachimaru easy.
I kind of have to agree with that. Hachimaru is a little bit.
I think Hachimaru.
But the thing is with Boruto is he's kind of starting to control his karma a little bit. He's not like fully controlled, but with Kawaki, like what we just saw with Kawaki with his karma, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Boruto. Since I'm sorry I'm spoiling Boruto manga, but goddamn it, read it with Momoshiki.
Oh, did this
Hello?
cut out?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that because we couldn't hear you?
Oh, I was saying that, like, especially with what happened in the most recent chapters where I'm sorry I'm spoiling Boruto manga, but just read it, is that Kawaki was able to tap into Jigen's power through his karma, and Boruto, it's going to be interesting to see how Boruto taps into Momoshiki's power.
Yeah, it's just bound. It's just bound to happen, and I will have to agree as well. Hachimaru is a better character than Boruto so far because Boruto is still. When you really think about it, Boruto has only grown probably 2 layers since the start of the series of the manga. He literally has only grown twice. He's still like my dude was complaining still in the manga for almost 10 chapters about a freaking vase. Like.
Bro.
Like
off so much. Like, I love when Kawaki just told him to shut up.
And like,
yes, bro.
It's like Boruto. He tried to fix the vase already. Enough about complaining it. Let it go. Your father said, let it go as well. Your father's the man of the house. If your father said it's cool, it's cool. Why are you, Boruto, acting like you're the one that pays the bills? You don't pay the bills.
Bro, Boruto be pissing me off, bro. Like, at least Hachimaru realizes, like, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong.
Yes,
too.
And that is what I was gonna bring up. That Hachimaru at least knows that, okay, I'm F up. The rumor, he gives long, stupid lessons and long, a lot of symbolism and a lot of try to have my brain try to figure things out. But at the end, I'm learning and I have to listen. Boruto would have interrupted the rumor about 25 times before he tried to finish the whole thing.
Yep. Oh, that's cool. Can you show me that?
Boruto would have been a whiny little bitch about the princess. Let's be real.
He's like, I don't want that. He's like, I don't want that.
Yeah, if Boruto say like, no, I could do this by myself. I don't need you. I'm like, but Boruto, this is part of the story. You need a princess. You need a dog. Now you're good. This is part of the story. Now stop complaining. Hachimaru was like, well, I don't need this. Okay, that's the reason? Okay, cool, I accept it. So Hachimaru knows how to accept it, and that is very that is like a very human thing. Like Hachimaru acts like a human to the core where he understands that one thing about life is to accept things that you cannot control. That he needs a princess to move on and get stronger. Like, okay, cool, let's work together and let's get stronger together. And that's one thing that I have really enjoyed about Hachimaru is because it's like you said, he knows how to accept the things that he learned. He doesn't get mad about it. He doesn't get riled up, throw like a whole tantrum and tells his father, I hate you, father. All right, bye, I'm gone. And come back later. Hey, I'm sorry, you was right. Like, shit, I was right. I'm the one that knows how to teach you about life. So that's one thing I really have love about Hachimaru as a character, that he's actually been having a lot of progression.
True. Boruto would have fell in love with Ata. Like, come on, man.
Oh yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, Ata, yo,
Ata's
Ata,
cool.
my dude, can you train me? Even though you always about to kill my master, can you train me? I want to know more about you." I'm like, "What? He's a bad guy though."
Like Boruto wild, bro.
And
Let's
comparing,
be real, Hachimaru's a little bit more like Naruto.
Well, that's one thing that I was gonna bring up later as a con for me, because at first he really like his
Yes.
that really like the one with Shiki and Natsu. You saw the art style comparison, but you saw the personality was not completely the same. The only that was the same was like, "Hey, wanna be my friend? Power friendship. Alright, cool." But that is Hiro Mashima's style. That's his style that he writes and draws. Cool. But the personality about Shiki and Natsu was not the same. The personality.
I mean, the thing is we see the difference, especially if you are reading Heroes.
Oh yeah.
Which ends next week. You see the difference between Mashima's
correct.
Main characters, and I love Haru's reactions
Yes.
to them, to Shiki and Natsu. It's just so beautiful.
And I agree 100% with that. And that's what I'm bringing up with Hachimaru and Naruto. Their designs are not so much the same, but their personality was too similar in the beginning. And I was so happy that he switched it up later down the line. I was like, "Oh, thank you, Lord," because I was gonna say if this was too much of a personality and look, then I was like, "All right, Sam, let's drop it. I'm gonna read this on my own," because I was
But I gotta say something that's a little similar to Naruto is how fucking thirsty Hachimaru kind of is. For man, it was so, like, remember the chapter when he couldn't get his sword straight up? I was like, oh boy.
Oh my god, that was.
This man was lying hard, bro. I was like,
I was like, damn, thirstiness is going on up in here.
I love that comedy bit. That was my favorite comedy bit of that chapter. Like, oh wow, so we're going there. We're going
to
like,
Kishimoto.
we're not gonna go.
Like,
yeah, like we're not gonna go ecchi scene. We're gonna go comedy scene of ecchi stuff. Like, alright, cool. I like this. You're keeping me entertained as a perverted fan here. I like this. You got me hooked here with wanting more of the scenes like this. So that was really entertaining aspect about it.
Yeah, I like the addition of Sanda to the crew because he just kind of hits on Anne, like in the background, and it's like, oh, like I love it because it's like, what is this guy doing? Like he's just like, hey, this is boring. Like Ryu's beating your samurai's butt. Like let's get out of here.
I like that later that later on that the reason he was like so hitting on Anne and stuff so close to her and stuff because it reminded him of his mother. So I thought that was a really sweet thing.
I love that.
Yeah. He better get Yoshitsune's key and just take it. Take that key since he found it. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling Samurai 8 if people are behind. Especially Benki is a piece of shit that gives 0 fucks. I want him to take Yoshitsune's sword and become a samurai.
Yo, that panel was so disrespectful. I was like, oh my god.
Benki's out of control.
I'm like, we gotta get this guy.
I'm sorry, I have to spoil chapter 31 because it was just so when Sanda said to Benki, he said, "You killed my mother," and Benki's like, "So yeah, so what?" I was just like, wow.
Yo, I lost it. I was like, yo, he's doing like, you didn't offer any condolences. Like, my bad. Like, I had to do it. No, like, so what? You ain't gonna do anything.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though we were talking about Shiki and Hashimaru, like, there's other shonen protagonists that I like better than Hashimaru, like newer protagonists, like Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. Have you ever read that series? Like, his personality is hilarious. Like, there was a chapter. This is not really a big spoiler, but somebody was like, "What type of women do you like?" And he was like,
"Oh yeah."
He was like, "I like women like Jennifer Lawrence." I was like, okay, this guy, he's on another level. This guy is on another level.
My hope for that when the anime gets adapted is that they add a picture of Jennifer Lawrence in the background somewhere or another.
Please.
That's what I hope they do. But
you mean J-Lo? It was Jennifer Lopez.
Lopez?
Yeah, he was saying it was like J-Lo.
Oh yeah, J-Lo then.
Okay.
Whichever Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Lopez, whichever other Jennifer was there, I definitely wanted to be in the background of the anime. But also one thing that really not really upset me. It's a little small pet peeve is that about Samurai 8, I wish they changed the wardrobe of the one that he did back in I think chapter 21 or 22 is that he had the whole look of all black and and the hood on and plus his hair loose. I wish Kishimoto kept it like that and more consistent with like him going back to his old look. I wanted that new look to stay, and I wish that was more there.
I have a feeling like maybe when they go to the next planet, maybe he'll change his like art. Well, not art style, but his clothes and stuff again. That'd be cool.
Oh, that was my pet peeve with Naruto. It's like, how do you have the same jumpsuit? Like you're getting your butt kicked constantly.
Every character.
How do you have the same outfit?
Every character gets
except for Sasuke.
Oh yeah, Sasuke.
Except for Sasuke. Sasuke would change an outfit like every week.
That's one thing I love about Sasuke is because my dude changed the whole drip. And that's one thing I gotta give props to Okubo. Okubo in Bleach, he was the best at giving his characters like those designs, the outfits all the time. And that's something that I wish that you brought up. Hopefully when they go to each planet, Hachimaru and them change their designs and clothes to each planet, just like they do in the manga Eden Zero. They have their own clothes design that they change just for the planet, but also for the planet art style, environment, stuff like that. So hopefully Hachimaru does that too. Change his color look, but still keep the color scheme.
Yeah. Only that one main thing I like about Samurai 8 and Okubo's art is his facial expressions. Like later on, like when you see a character and it's like a really emotional scene, or not even just emotional scenes, like scenes where they're like surprised, like you could see it in the facial expressions of the characters, and it resonates with the reader as well. If it's a really sad moment, and you see like when Hachimaru was crying and stuff when his father died and stuff, I was like, wow, like Okubo. Even my favorite chapter to this day, I don't care what nobody says, is the Nanashi chapter. That was the best chapter for me. Like that was
What's
just.
the Nanashi one? Are you talking about Anne's backstory?
Yeah,
Or are you talking about the Nanashi from chapter?
The Princess Anne's backstory, Nanashi, like that was just so heartwarming.
Oh yeah, it was sad, but it was well done. It
was so sad. I was crying. Not gonna lie.
Like it didn't get me crying, but it got me emotional. Like damn, I felt bad for Anne. Like you live a hard life, you lost your brother, but it was something that I see that she saw her brother in Hachimaru. That's why she couldn't connect with him. And then the next chapter where Hachimaru did the white sword light was what got me hyped. Yes. I love that. That's one of my favorite things that my man the room was like, oh shit, my dude's about to do a whole white sword light. Like, wait, no, what is that? Next chapter. I'm like, come on, next chapter. I need next chapter right now to know what's going on there.
Yeah. And one thing I like about the power system of Samurai 8, obviously there's planetary level characters, but besides like the importance of the princesses in the series, because once the bond between Hachimaru and Princess Anne was even stronger, like that obviously amped Hachimaru's power even greater. So that bond really does matter. And it just means like if you have a princess and you don't really bond with her that strongly, then you'll probably not really get a big power boost. And I really like that power system. One, because obviously it's beneficial to the main character, but two, because it also puts the princesses in a light of real importance and stuff in the series. And to tell you the truth, sadly, a lot of shonen series, like when they have female characters, they're either in the background or barely, like there's some or barely there, like in Naruto. So I'm not gonna lie to you, like Kishimoto did a bad job with a lot of those female characters, real bad
or they're just really strong but they don't do shit.
Yeah, it's just like Sakura. A lot of people like to call her trash, and I hate to, not that I don't agree with it, but it's just that Sakura technically is one of the most strongest shinobis out of Naruto and Sasuke. If they're not there, Sakura is strong as hell too. Just because they're the main characters don't mean she's not strong either. And
it's actually one of the main characters too.
Yeah, she is. It's just that a lot of people like to cut ass on her. It's just because of the way that he didn't write her so well. And that's what people
because of her obsession with Sasuke too.
That too. And also because somehow, some way they had a baby, Kosarada, and somehow they have a marriage. I'm like, how did you get married, and how did you guys have kids? Like,
And Sarada needs glasses, even though she has a shouting gun.
It makes no
That
sense.
makes no sense.
Even though none of the other Uchihas never had glasses, but somehow she
Like,
does
we just
need
got
it.
eye problems now.
So it makes total
okay.
sense.
It just makes me appreciate Eden Zero a lot more because the female characters in there are so much
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Yes.
Eden
Especially
Zero.
Hara and lately
Oh,
Rebecca's
man.
writing has been really good,
Oh, yeah.
especially in the Valkyrie arc.
And that's where I do appreciate Anna as well as a character. She was only introduced not that long ago, but she's been so well written with the characters of how she's been doing, and that's one thing I like about Anne, because she's actually entertaining. She actually has a story, and we know about her much more than most MC characters that we have met over the new series. Like, we found out about this girl from Technic Noel over the whole series of from Black Clover. No, we found out information about bit by bit throughout the series spread. Right now, and we found out about her backstory, who's her brother, why she's important, and who she's for, and how important she is to the MC. That case closed, and now more growth later on.
I still don't think we're done with her backstory.
Oh yeah, of course, there's more to it.
No, we're not done with her backstory at all.
Because it just ended off with her brother. Like, it doesn't explain.
It doesn't really explain how she... Wait, did it explain how she ended up at that point?
That's what I think is gonna help. They're gonna go more in depth with. Like, I want to know about how do you choose a princess? Like, how does that all go about? Because it doesn't seem like every female character has that capability of being a princess.
Yeah,
like there's like a select few.
One thing with Samurai 8 that I'm really looking forward to is the God of War Akala. Especially like his origins. Not only that, because in the Nanashi chapter with the Princess Anne flashback, there was a statue of the God of War Fushido, which basically somebody told me Fushido basically just means Akala. And I'm wondering, like, how does one become a God of War? Can one become a God of War, or is there always only one God of War forever? Like, that's going to be really interesting later on towards the series, because from what we got in the series, it was like...
I actually want to talk about this. Hold on. I'm sorry for interrupting. But I actually want to talk about that Yoshitsuna panel. From the latest chapter.
Oh, you mean the second head added Becky? That was so creepy. Oh my god.
And then like I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, what if like Kala has something like this going on? Like, you know, like he's actually like,
too, remember? That was fucking crazy.
Yes. And like he could move and crap. I was like, yo, it's crazy.
What's his name? I totally forgot. He's like way more powerful than Hachimaru too. Oh my god.
Kala?
God.
Ata? You mean Ata?
Huh?
Ata?
No, not Ata. He's one of the samurai that was on the planet with Hachimaru, and he tested him.
Oh, the guy.
Sin.
Oh yeah, the guy that has a face mask, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Sin. Sam? Something like that?
Sin. Silent Sin.
Captain Sen, yeah.
Yeah, like he used the goddamn force. Like,
he did. That was dope. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That's the robotic arm, right?
Yeah. So I think he has like attachments to it.
Yeah,
I think
because
I just think that he's partially a robot with it, because the way his arm went out like that. So I think he is like part robot, android, something like that.
I think maybe one of his
samurais are in this universe. They're part android.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's more android with the way his arm was like that. Like,
yeah, I think maybe I don't know. I don't think this is possible, but samurais are supposed to regenerate, and it depends on each samurai. Like some regenerate faster than others. I don't know if something happened to his arm. Like maybe there's a blade that could cut his hand or whatever that made it impossible to regenerate. That would be cool if that was introduced. But you know, it's a cool addition to Sen's character, and he's way stronger than Hachimaru, obviously, but yeah.
Oh, dude, you know he's...
Hey, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, go on.
Oh, no, that's all I was going to say, but yeah.
So, what made you guys want to stick around for Samurai 8?
Oh, well...
Like, what hooked you, or what made you keep interest to want to keep going with this series?
Well, to read the series, or more to cover the series on our
Like
channels.
to keep going through, like, even during the slow moments where it was
I
like,
just keep thinking it's got to get better. If Eden Zero could get better, then
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
that's one of my reasons as well. Like that was number 2 or 3. Number 1 for me, it was more because I had hope for Kishimoto because of me as a person who, my childhood anime was Naruto. My adulthood anime is One Piece. So like those are my series that I grew up. And for my man Kishimoto to be one of the people that really introduced me to the world of manga and anime. So like, okay, I had to give him a chance. Like, all right, this is a slow series, slow burn, but I had to see where the series goes. So that's why I continued reading it. If it wasn't Kishimoto, probably I would have never read it unless I heard from my friends that, hey man, I do highly recommend the series, to read it, to cover it, whatever it was. But for myself as a fan, the only reason I kept continuing reading it itself, most importantly, was just because of Kishimoto and because of me being curious to know. I hope the art gets better. That's honestly my number 2. Number 3 is that the story was very complex, very sci-fi, but I want to see where it continues because I saw it as a Star Wars reference style. So I want to see if are we gonna get more of it. That's my 3 reasons why.
So basically, what kept me reading? One, I'm a fanboy of Kishimoto. I'm not gonna lie to you. 2, there was a chapter where Daruma was fighting Ryu, and when he was fighting him, he got so mad that he caused tremors to start happening, and that gave me One Piece vibes, where Whitebeard clashed with Shanks on Whitebeard's boat ship. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if this is gonna get on this level, that I'm gonna be like, wow, this is crazy. Not only that, I always give a series at least 10 chapters, 10 plus chapters sometimes, depending what it is. Like, because if it starts off slow, I understand, but I understand if even like the first 8 chapters are bad. Like, after like 15, 20 chapters, if they're still bad, I'm dropping the series. But Samurai 8, I was obviously, because Kishimoto was writing it, that's what let me keep reading it a little bit. But with chapter 1, even I was like, oh man, what is this? Why are we getting an information dump right off the bat? But I was like, this has potential because it's a sci-fi series and they have so much they could do. Like, I did say in one of my videos, I want to see towards the end of the series like a big world map, like a Samurai 8 world map of like all the planets, like Hachimaru and friends went to and things like that, and maybe even regions that are not discovered yet. Like, that would be awesome to see. Or maybe they could. I don't think they can do that with the manga covers. Like, I was thinking like the spine of it, like maybe connect the planets. But I think the side cover, the spines of the covers are just like white and stuff. But there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, something like that would be really awesome. And I still see a lot of potential with this series. A lot of potential.
Well, I got a question for you guys. What do you think of the planet design so far, especially compared to like Eden Zero, or if you've read Kanata no Astra, which is really good, or Kanata no Astra?
Okay, so I'm really liking, although I'm like really new to Eden Zero, only 20 chapters in, but I really like the designs of the planets. Like, I think I just got to Gilgis.
Oh, that's a good one.
I believe that's. Yeah, and like it has like the tree sitting on top of it.
Oh, you're talking about
And then it's like, yes, and then it has the lock and chain around it, and I thought that was pretty dope.
Oh, you're gonna meet a nice sister Ivy right there. She's beautiful, very ecchi type.
Oh, Two Swords.
I love when Sister came out and Weiss was just like, haven't you seen these titles?
It's a very good
I was just dying. I was like, wow, Weiss, you really went there.
Okay, I'm gonna go read it after the stream, so I'm really excited. Like, I left off when they got Sister, and Shiki, he's going after Sister, but
oh, you haven't even gotten to Hermit yet. Oh, Hermit's stuff is so sad. I cried during Hermit's arc. I'm not gonna lie.
But to say about the landscape of what you're saying is that I would say for me, it's hard to say how good it is since we only got to about 3-4 planets right now. So it's not even much to compare to how Eden Zero has gone to a lot more planets, and I'll say that's better.
Eden Zero's only been to like 4 or 5, I think, right?
No, I think
Really?
more. I think they've been up to 5 to 7. I'll say roughly 5 to 7, but they've been more around the planet. Like they've been more on the surface, more around it. With Hachimaru, they only been to 3 to 4, and they haven't shown the full landscape of around the place. And plus, the art just have been improving lately, so it's hard for me to give a good answer to that question of how's the landscape drawing for the series of Samurai 8.
I think I really like the concept of how there's like barren planets. I thought that was pretty like a nice addition.
Me personally, I like Hashimaru's home planet. It looks really nice, but since I read Eden Zero as well, I do like the planets in Eden Zero better. But Hashimaru's home planet is cool, and I don't have the same opinion as you with the barren planets. I do not like the planet they're in right now.
You don't like Kinka?
No, it's just too plain. Like
Agreed.
it's too plain
Yeah,
for
I
me.
agree.
Mhm.
It's boring.
I like
Already just rocks.
I like the
Well,
I like the
I-
rest
I-
of that planet they went to though. Like
I had
where
like
they
the
went.
oh my
Yeah.
bad.
Well, I was saying like the little planetary stop they went to, like to pick up new clothes, things like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of
yeah.
want more of that. I want more of that concept of other planets that has like a city that has
Yeah.
like actual shops, to show, kind of show a bit of slice of life after this, because it shows like they're open right now in all action right now. I want them to calm down for a good 2-3 chapters, show a bit of the city, other planets, a bit of mellow down, show a way you said, like, show some shops, the clothes changing. I want to see that a bit because I feel like it's just been a lot of heavy action.
Something
Yeah.
I want to see more in Samurai 8 as well is I want to see more of the ship designs, because something that Mashima has done in Eden Zero that's so beautiful is that he's treating space like an ocean, and we have like different fish
Yes.
for some of the spaceships and stuff like that. And I want to see like we're going to get in Samurai 8 spaceship wise, like if we're going to get something similar or not.
In one of the comments, Ryun said, "I find it cool that the planet in Samurai 8 with the big scar."
That's the planet we're on right now.
Yeah.
And
Well-
Yeah, that's the plan we're on now.
yeah, it's a nice, cool planet, but as a landscape and art style, I feel like it's too plain and it's too broad
Yeah.
for it right now. So
Oh yeah, especially compared to what like I've seen in Kanata no Astra, like we because in Kanata no Astra we go to like barren planets, but like the art is just so gorgeous for it.
And that's what I agree with. I was gonna bring up Star Wars as far as like Star Wars. We go to planets all the time, and we see some planets that are very dead, very dry, just all landscape. But the art style of what they put there is very beautiful. So hopefully that's what in the future arcs or chapters about Samurai 8, they could capture that a bit more.
I did. So
Even-
where? Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, even though the barren planet we're in now, like they do describe why it's barren, like there's like a dead planet with like dead
Oh, yeah, of
peas
course.
and things like that. But
And
you know,
just
I
a trash
understand
heap for
where-
Holders. Like I
Yeah.
had like the when we had first landed. Like I felt like if it had stayed more like canyony, I guess. More like where it was like you could see the giant key holders and the stuff built into, like you could tell like it was actually like a trash dump site. Whereas you got like bits and pieces of like broken up robot here or there. Like I feel like it would have been a lot better for when he revealed the humanoid holders, because they just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
And I do agree with Vash when he said like you want to see more slice of life stuff. I actually do want to see
Yes.
more of that as well. Like hopefully when they go to a new planet next arc, like they spend like at least even 5 chapters just like exploring the planet, going to different places in the planet, talking to the locals, making some friends along the way and stuff like that. Even eating food. Like there was a chapter they were eating food in the ship. I was like, oh, they were like, who cooked this food? And there was like, it's Anne, and it was really funny and stuff. Like things like that would be really awesome to see.
And that's what I think I really like about the manga is because like we're spending so much. We spend like a lot of time, not just this arc, but because it's been more action based and more training and getting him prepared for combat. But earlier on in the story, it gave you that character interaction, and getting them like, although Anne and Hachimaru, they didn't necessarily like each other or didn't see eye to eye at the beginning, but you see them grow. And the same thing with Kotsuga and Ryu from when they got introduced. Like their character interactions and growth have been pretty similar to, I'd say, Hachimaru and Ryu. I mean Hachimaru and Anne.
I love Sanda / Kotsuga so much. Like when we got his backstory, I was so heartbroken for him. I was like, that bastard Benki. And then he just said, like, he just didn't give a flying fuck. I just think that's just so...
I can't wait for the official translation to see if he just says, so what? Because if he just... I'm like, what? He could even say, like, hey, I have my reasons or whatever.
I'm saying, bro, that was so disrespectful. That was so disrespectful.
Launch a nuke, like for crying out loud.
He really is trying to nuke. Oh my god. Okay, so how do you guys feel about the planet busting technology? And that panel where Hachimaru was able to destroy the moon.
I feel like it's very OP, but as long as it don't happen every single arc, or as long as it don't happen like every single fight, then I'm fine with. But if it happens every chapter or like every single fight, that's how I answer. I feel like it's gonna feel like a very anticlimactic type of shot fight. That's what I feel like.
I definitely agree.
Like I hope it don't, because the less it happens, it's more special. It'll feel like a last resort, or it'll feel like a ultimate weapon. That's what I want it to feel, not like a use right now type of weapon, and then it feel kind of useless.
You know what I'm thinking of? I always like have like scenarios when it comes to like manga and stuff like that. Come to my head. Like I just imagine like a samurai, maybe somebody from the Ususama school, like launches a bunch of these things, and they just protect the planet like with their holder, and then they just die in the process. Like that would be really cool to see. Like actually destroy like some angular warheads while protecting a planet. Like, because it was introduced in this arc, right? But I don't think it's going to be activated. I think they're going to stop the process. But I think way later down the line, I think maybe one of them will be sent to a planet, and it'll probably be up to Hachimaru and his friends to stop it or something.
Well, we did get that panel where they were saying that the Ususama style had got like a lot of them from the black market.
Yeah, that's where Benki got the bomb from, was the black market, I believe.
So it's like they're out there, and it's crazy that they give you like a 300-year sentence.
He just kill you. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm saying, like, just kill them.
It's the same as death, basically. If you're not a samurai, you're not living up to 300 years. Even though we don't know the lifespan of humans in Samurai, it could be different. Because in One Piece, we know about that. Like, some humans
they can live up to 140.
Yeah.
Right here is a good question that I was going to bring up as well. Ryun said, one of my favorites panel is when my man had to fly through the moons at the same time he was eating a food with air, and it looked like an explosive. So like, what's your favorite guys' panel so far in the past 30 chapters? Like, do you guys have a certain favorite panel, drawn, stuff like that?
I got a few, actually.
One of my favorite panels, obviously, like I said earlier, was in the Princess Anne's backstory with Nanashi crying. Like, I was like, wow.
Oh God, yes.
That hit me in the feels. I was like, okay, Kishimoto. Oh, not Kishi. Oh, Kubo, don't kill me now.
He's good at that. Oh, another thing that I didn't notice when I first read that chapter was that Anne learned to talk from Nanashi. And I was like, oh my god, that's where she gets her stuttering from. I'm like, that just made it like 10 times better.
And that's
then,
what
like-
and that's what I was gonna bring up, because I could relate to him since I used to stutter a lot. Still do, but like it's very rare now. Like it's very barely. But that's one of my favorite story so far in Samurai 8 is because of Anne and the way she stutters and the way we find out about her backstory. So that backstory really, I could connect with it. It was very short,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed it because I'm like, oh shit, I can relate to this, because not a lot of manga artists, creators do this type of real life showing about depression, stutterness, stuff like that. So like to see this in a story, it really was impactful for me.
I think that's why I really didn't mind the really early stuff with Nanashi from the dojo.
Oh yeah, that was really nice too.
I
Like,
loved him. I loved.
I loved all of that. I loved all.
I'm not gonna lie. I was really mad when he didn't join with Hachimaru. I was like, God damn it! I really wanted him to go because I like him.
Yeah, he's such a great character.
I think later on he'll be part of the journey too.
Oh yeah, he said he was gonna come find him. So
And another panel I did like was in one of the recent chapters where unnamed samurais were talking about, oh, he's a traitor, I'll never trust him. And then Hashimaru was like, he just looked at them. He just glanced at them. He had this serious look on his face. I was like, wow, like that gave me a little bit of chills. I was like, okay, like you know, when Hashimaru is serious, like his face,
you feel it. You feel it.
Yeah.
Like you feel it through the art. I was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh, okay, Hachimaru, like, because I have seen that in him since like that chapter after he found out everything with his dad and Ata, and he was like, tell me everything about Ata. Like I want to know everything. And he was like very serious.
Speaking of when Hachimaru's dad died, oh, that art was so gorgeous.
Oh, the art
was.
That's when to me the art is when it showed it improve. I think that was chapter like 14 or 15 is when his father got killed, and that's to me is when it that's when the art really went. All right, I have found my style for this series. Is when I'm gonna start doing and improve. That's when I felt like it really went. Is really when it went above its page in it, and like it actually improved its style, and that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still love this now.
Oh, dude, that was very heart wrenching. Like I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, nah, they're gonna save him. It's fine. No, he actually died. I was like, and then his backstory. Like I'm pretty sure we're not gonna. This isn't the last we're gonna hear about Dr. Furuta. I'm pretty sure we'll get like a story later on or something. But like, just his life and everything he went through with the Ususama and Hachimaru, it really made you, as the reader, value like everything he was trying to do at the beginning.
But
not gonna lie, I called my dad right after I covered that.
were you guys?
I was like, Dad, I love you.
Were you guys not really upset? Were you guys disappointed that it felt like such a manga anime trope that his father had to die for him to get the character growth, character progression, for him to actually evolve as a character, as a MC? Were you guys upset about that? Like, okay, he had to die because of this reason.
I think
I was
think
not
he
upset.
Yeah. No, go on.
I was gonna say I was not upset, but it was cliche, right? But
Yeah,
at the end of
agreed.
the day, it was
How
still
you handle it.
emotional because the way Okubo drew those panels, like it was really good.
It definitely did. It was very impactful in the sense that we got those, from the few chapters at the beginning, we got them fighting so much, and it was like, well, what's the real reason behind why Hachimaru can't go outside? Because, it couldn't be just because, he was unhealthy. I feel like, Ata being, he was just scared, basically. And so it all came full circle at the end. But how do you guys feel about that twist that we got? Like, he's not his actual dad. He created him.
That one I kind of had
all that stuff.
That one
It
kind of
didn't
had.
surprise me.
That one to me was obvious because they did not look nothing alike. So I was like,
I didn't see it coming.
these two did not look nothing alike to me, and I saw it happening, but the way Hachimaru still cared for him because that was technically his father figure no matter what, and that was still his father because he's technically a clone. So like when it comes to his bread and butter, that's when scientists makes a clone or non-real human. At the end of the day, that's some way or another, that's the parent, and that's how
Yeah.
Hachimaru still saw him, even though he kept calling him annoying throughout all those years, but he still loved him deep down.
Yeah.
Just like Orochimaru Mitsuki, like that's still his father, even though he was created artificially. Like I still see him as his dad,
Oh, that's so weird, bro.
even though
Like, in
even
regards
though
to the death,
But one thing I
I
had
want
to
to say this in regards to the death. It needed to happen because how I saw it was that his dad was not going to let him do anything at all until like this happened.
I mean, he had a very valid reason though. Like, did you see what Alta was doing, bro? Did you see what Alta was doing?
Alta was out of control.
His father was holding him back from going on the adventure, so it was definitely an important plot device, at least for me.
Yeah,
His father
it
knew
was.
about Alta. He's like, the
He was
dangers
like,
of the
hey.
samurai. You can't let
He
this
was like,
happen.
hey, you don't want to go out there, man.
He even built a
Dude,
device
Alta-
in his own body to like destroy Samurai's soul. Like that's crazy to me.
but something that I want to agree with the opinion that one of the comments said. I actually love that his father didn't die before the story started, and that's actually a fact because we have
Yes.
Yeah.
for example, Black Clover don't have the parents, which is probably because of story, most likely because of the story purposes. For example, My Hero Academia, we don't know what the hell Deku's
Midoriya's
father
kid.
is. We don't know where the hell is Deku's father. We don't know if he's dead, alive, a villain. We don't know nothing. And to have Hachimaru's father actually live and actually be some type of character growth, yes, it's a very cliche thing that has been done over many years, but to actually have it that he's actually lived for at least more than 10 chapters and actually be some type of character and show that he's more than just a father, he's more of a scientist, other than, oh, I was one of the samurais back then, like just like for example, Naruto and his father is
Yes.
actually the fourth Hokage, but it's more important than that, and we didn't find out until hundreds and hundreds of chapters later. So this was
I was gonna
actually
say that.
very helpful.
Just makes me think of
I was
Shokugeki
gonna
no
say
Soma with Jochiro and Soma.
I haven't read the series, or I just
haven't read
Oh,
Food Wars.
Shokugeki. The ending is very disappointing. But
Oh yeah, no.
The manga is good, but just that
Okay.
ending just pissed me off. And
Alright.
oh,
Oh yeah, I know.
I actually met the creators of the manga at Crunchyroll Expo, and they said they had more planned, but their food consultant person just was going through something. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but they had like a world tour plan. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I heard about that.
I really wanted that.
Oh wow, that's disappointing. That's good to hear that at least, because is because my co-host Sam, he loved Food Wars and he was very disappointed of how it kind of ended in a rush, and that really sucks. When Shonen Jump does that, like it's just action series. I wish Food Wars took a break at least to have it survive. Yeah, like
Something that pisses me off is like what happened with Gintama. Gintama just moved to a different magazine. I just don't understand why Shueisha just doesn't move some of these mangas to a different magazine.
remember, it's
Like
always
I would have
money.
liked to see how
It's
Warren
always
Yuma stayed
money.
around and freaking Last Yuki. Oh, that made me mad when Last Yuki got canceled. I was so mad because there was so much.
It's the same thing for a lot of people wanting Tales of Hachimaru Samurai 8 to end, is because for them it's not interesting, it's not entertaining. But for others like us, we're interested. We do cover to try to help other people to get interested in the source material. And a lot of people just are very negative about it. And the same thing goes. A lot of people was not interested into those series that's what they got axed. I was the same thing. Disappointed that on the series what's it called, Tokyo Shinobi Striker also got
I was so mad about Tokyo Shinobi Squad getting canceled.
got axed as well. It was because a lot of people was not reading it, but the volumes, like I said, it's all about money. And Samurai 8, Shonen Jump just hopes Samurai 8 gives them money is because it's Kishimoto. That's what they hope, and they're playing the long game. That's why that's why they're letting the series go on to 30, 50 chapters, because they're hoping in the long game it's Kishimoto's name. That's why they believe in him, and also Kishimoto made them a lot of money, so that's why they can't really say no to him.
I know, but like at the same time, it's just like Shueisha has all of these magazines. Why not utilize them? I just don't get
That's
it.
facts. And it sucks because you see, and then it starts to become a toxic thing in the anime community, where like if your manga doesn't necessarily, if it's not like really talked about or whatever, like it'll get axed, even though it's like I think Light was saying like popularity doesn't always equal quality.
Yep.
Yeah, I always say that.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with.
And so
I'm sorry, I have to say it. Like for the longest time, Act Age was just so fucking boring. I hated it, especially
Mhm.
since I read Skip Beat before, which is the better series,
Mhm.
and it finally got good. Like oh god, like I want to say because it took me like 3 times to like catch up with it, but then it got good. Like I want to say like before chapter 30.
Yeah.
During the first stage play arc was when it really got good, and then it just like it flatlined until it got to until this current arc, which is freaking amazing. And I just didn't understand because I didn't understand for the longest time why are you guys liking Act Age? Why are people liking Act Age so much? Skip Beat is better.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of Skip Beat, but I did read like the first 17 chapters of Act Age, and I actually really did enjoy it.
Skip Beat is so much. Skip Beat is very similar, where it has the acting. The main character Kyoko has a lot more personality. She ain't no Mary Sue like acting prodigy. She's starting from nothing, and she is rising up in the business, and it's all because she's trying to get revenge on this guy who like completely fucked her over. Like he was using her, and she was in love with him. And he was taking advantage of her, and so she went to like his the enemy, quote unquote, or rival, that's the word I was looking for, the rival agency where his rival Suraga is. And oh god, it was just such a good series. It's so funny, even though I want to slap Kyoko sometimes, but like how she gets into character for a lot of her gigs is just freaking amazing.
I've never heard of it either, so that's news to me. I only have known about Act Age that's done it, so that's pretty interesting about it. But also, we was told here in the comment section that the chief about Food Wars, it was because about family circumstances. That's why he couldn't. That's why he couldn't work on it anymore.
Because this is what they said at the panel was because their the person that was doing their food consultant went on maternity leave. Now I remember they went on maternity leave.
Okay, so,
and that's why some of the chapters were kind of iffy. And then when she came back, or when she was trying to come back, but she just couldn't. It was just too hard. But something that is interesting is oh my god, what's his name? Yudo wasn't the one that came up with Shokugeki no Soma. No, it was the artist that came up with it. I just thought that was so interesting.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the Food Wars panels at Crunchyroll Expo were amazing, and I got my Takumi plushie signed and as little Soma drawn on the back of his head.
Okay,
I need to go to Anime Expo.
Ryan in the comments section, he said, "I never heard people hype up Kimetsu no Yaiba manga that much until the anime adaptation blew it up." I completely agree.
That's
I
fact.
completely
I've been
agree.
covering Kimetsu no Yaiba. Hold on, let me look at the date of when I started covering Kimetsu no Yaiba. Oh my god, it was a couple years ago. I started covering it, I want to say around like chapter 50.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I noticed in my YouTube channel analytics that more people are watching my Kimetsu no Yaiba.
That's good though.
I started covering Kimetsu no Yaiba. Let me get here.
But do you
I started covering Kimetsu no Yaiba in 2017.
Oh wow, that's good. That's actually 2 years ago. About to be 3.
Yeah.
It blew up. That shows what a good animation studio can do for
And you know the crazy thing is, I covered a manga, like just a full manga review I did of this manga. It was called King's Game. It's the manga and anime are horrible, but I covered the manga like years before the anime came out, and then my manga review blew up. I was like, "What happened?" Oh, I got an anime adaptation. I watched the anime. I covered the anime, and I was like, "How can It's interesting because an anime makes a manga blow up, but to the level of Kimetsu no Yaiba, for me, I knew before the anime even came out because I read from what I read of Yaiba, I was like, this is gonna be a big series, but I didn't expect it like to literally be on par with One Piece. And I was like, wow,
I didn't
like,
see that coming.
I'm
I didn't
not
see
gonna
that
lie,
coming
I-
at all.
Well,
But
I'm
do
gonna
you
mention
guys
this.
think?
When I was at Crunchyroll Expo, I think it was 2 years ago, or like not this past year, but the year before. And they were doing the panel for Aniplex was doing the panel for upcoming animes, and they showed the preview for Kimetsu no Yaiba, and people are like, "What the fuck is that?" I was the only person in the room that knew about Kimetsu no Yaiba manga. I was like, "Oh my god!" It was
Yeah.
so sad.
That's pretty cool though, because do you think when Samurai 8, hopefully it doesn't get axed by then, hopefully, do you guys believe Samurai 8 once it gets anime adaptation and by the right studio, and we're speaking
Not
again,
Carriot,
we
please.
we're speaking hypothetically by a good studio. Let's not try to guess
Yeah.
one right now. Hypothetically by a good studio, whichever it may be. Do you think Samurai will get its more love and attraction by being a more anime adaptation and more love and the better pacing fix for the first couple chapters?
That's what I was gonna say. It will have to fix the pacing. But I don't like. I feel like it will have to do like an hour long, like a 45-minute long episode for the
I
first
agree.
chapter. Like it has to be a long episode for the first chapter if you're gonna set up everything correctly.
I have to agree with that as well, because Sam, he's my co-host, and he is as well in the comment section. He said that it happened with him, the same thing with She-Hero. Nobody knew what was She-Hero. Nobody knew what that was. He read the light novel, and plus he reads the manga. Me myself, I did not know shit about She-Hero, and when he told me in the beginning of the year, "Hey Miguel, we're gonna cover some type of anime called She-Hero," I'm like, "What the fuck is that? Who does the She-Hero? That's some boring crap." And I think the 1 hour adaptation they showed was much better for me as a fan to actually get into it, because it actually fleshed out the story and the pacing felt good. And I agree with you saying that maybe a good hour adaptation might actually help with Samurai 8 and to actually involve the characters and much better pacing to fix that.
Because I think what happened was, right, we went from the thing with Yasha and Daruma, and that, I feel like for me that was pretty, like, that aspect of it was a lot more interesting than where we started eventually going into the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like starting off with understanding why they're going on the space journey and who's going to be looking for them was a lot more interesting. So I think that's going to have to be fleshed out a bit. The video game's going to have to be fleshed out a bit. I mean, those panels by themselves, like, I don't know. Like,
Two people say which studio or Studio Ghibli. But in Studio Ghibli don't really do anime.
Yeah, they do movies.
Yeah, they do movies, and I don't mind if Samurai 8 becomes a movie type of series. That'd be pretty different and really interesting if that ever happens.
Because the prologue could be a movie by itself.
I want that to happen. I actually would do one in anime. If it does get an anime adaptation by the right studio, we know that one studio we never want any anime to be made with.
Oh,
But
there's two. There's Period and JC Staff. There's
so,
another one too that's really a lot of manga,
so
but-
yeah, I definitely do see it blowing up more, because somebody on Twitter did tell me they couldn't get into Jujutsu Kaisen because obviously, I'm not gonna lie, like some of the fight scenes and stuff, like you could get lost in that because there's so much going on. And
Yeah.
Samurai 8 sometimes is the same. So, if it gets adapted and animated, you'll see things more clearly and stuff. And obviously that will get more people into the series. One, because some people just don't read manga. They don't like reading manga. You can't tell them to read anything because they'll be like,
But they
Nah,
read
just look at
subtitles.
it.
That's what I don't understand.
But remember, it's the same thing as people, as we tell them, hey, you watch a Marvel film of Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Avengers. Now go read the comic books. Then most common movie girls are not just gonna go read a comic book just because they saw Iron Man. Fans
Yeah.
fans that like it, yeah. The same thing. I like, as much as I say in every video I say of Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone. It's one of my favorite mangas from Shonen Jump. But if I tell people, hey, you like the anime, go read the manga, not everybody would do it because they say, oh, you know what, I could just wait. But for example, Villain Saga, I love Villain Saga. It's one of the dopest anime I've seen this year. Definitely gonna read the manga because I cannot wait for season 2 since I know that's gonna take a long time by wait. So I'd rather wait and I'd rather
You mean
go.
TMS Entertainment?
Huh?
It's TMS Entertainment that does Dr. Stone.
No, I was talking what I was talking about Dr. Stone and plus Villain Saga as well.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Villain Saga too.
Yeah, both
Oh
because
God!
like
Don't get me started on that manga. That manga makes me mad. I hate that manga. Like
it's
been
great.
hating that manga for a minute
Oh.
because of what they did to Thorfinn pisses me off. Oh, hate it. Hate it.
So, do you guys want Samurai 8 to be seasonal?
Oh, it has to be seasonal.
I feel it has
Oh,
to be.
yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be seasonal. Okay, I'm glad we all agree on that.
I'm tired of
because-
long-running series. I kind
As much as I love One Piece should
I
take
don't
a break.
Like with Studio Period doing the Black Clover.
One Piece
just,
should
like,
take a
covering
break.
Everything. It's like, dude, I want good art and animation for Black Clover. I want Tabata's art to be done justice, and it's not. And they
It's
fucked
not.
up my boy Sora, so I hate Studio Period even more.
And plus, shout out to Kiddo Taco. He's here in the chat as well. He's here talking about Samurai 8 should be seasonal. It will work better that way. I hope the same thing. I hope the same thing for Chainsaw Man, as what he said.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, dude,
Chainsaw
the same.
Man.
I love Chainsaw
Okay,
Man.
if you read Chainsaw Man, you need to read. If Chainsaw Man gets an adaptation before Karaku, I'm gonna be mad. But I kind of don't want Hell's Paradise Chica Karaku to be adapted because the art is so beautiful.
Well-
and it will be butchered to hell.
Well, Jump
but
Festa.
seriously, people
Well,
go read Hell's Paradise Chica Karaku.
well, Jump Festa
It's
is coming
really,
out.
really good.
Well, Jump Festa is coming out in less than 2 weeks, so we might get some news about Chainsaw Man as well. Who knows that we might get some more information about the anime. About Jujutsu Kaisen, but most likely we might get an announcement for Samurai 8 for 2021 or 2022 if it does get not act still running and going on, and it definitely has to be seasonal as a series because we cannot have the series become a yearly one like Black Clover. Like Black Clover, Boruto, One Piece are suffering because
Yes,
being all the
especially
time.
Boruto.
Oh,
Especially
no.
Boruto.
I have to give it especially to Black Clover because Boruto, Boruto, Boruto
the anime
Naruto is just filler.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's
Boruto-
not even
That's my
canon.
problem. That's my problem. It's like, at least with Black Clover, it's like I can kind of
It's canon.
suffer through the animation because it's canon material.
Yes, but
Like,
thing is, Black Clover is such a good story in the manga. It has its
The manga's
flaws.
great.
It has its flaws, but it's so great, and it could succeed in the anime. Good as My Hero, good as other series, good as for example, Demon Slayer. If it took a season though, as Black Clover, it could have been good as Demon Slayer. We don't know that, but it's a good hypothetical possibility of what Black Clover could have been.
I feel like, and that's where the issue came in with Naruto and Bleach,
Oh yeah.
because I feel like the mangaka, they were forced to keep, because even Kishimoto, like he was saying, he was getting tired around like 500 or some chapters where he was like, I'm getting tired, you know, my vision's not as good as it used to be, and like he was kind of complaining a little bit. And so I feel like if the anime isn't seasonal, it kind of forces the mangaka to have to rush a incomplete story, which is why Naruto kind of suffered towards the end with all those filler episodes.
Oh
Where it was
God.
like a whole year of filler, pretty much.
Okay, so
Oh,
basically, I just think when that happened, it was just basically Studio Period milking Naruto
Oh,
because
yeah.
there was enough content to put the canon material.
and what?
But Naruto is basically a moneymaker. That's the only reason they did that.
That
It
is true.
was.
And what sucks
Yeah.
about that is that Naruto could have done filler and what they call develop more of the characters that we don't know more about. Meaning they could have developed Ino, Sakura, Shikamaru, more about these characters in this filler, but no, they had to develop more of these characters that we already know about, Kakashi and Itachi, the Uchihas. We already know enough information
I
about them.
wanted to know more about the Hyuga clan.
Me
like,
too.
I was always hyped about the Hyuga clan because I'm like, they're supposed to rival the Uchiha. The Uchiha is like, come on, bro. I don't see it happening.
Something I want to say though, like about the Black Clover anime, even though I stopped covering it a while back, is that the episodes I did cover when they did when Studio Period did filler for it, it actually worked and it expanded the story and it was really, really good. So it's not the writer's fault at Studio Period. It's just the art and animation is just killing it for me.
Yeah.
And also sometimes the soundtrack is just like, huh? What the fuck?
So I think filler gets like a bad rap. Like I like filler where it's like it adds more to the story. Like in terms of like if we don't get like a clear, action panel from the manga, they'll flesh it out or whatever. Or, they'll add more scenes in to make it, more longer and more interesting.
Some of the fights in the tournament.
Yeah. That I'm really hoping the anime like will spread that out a bit to where we can see like some actual like little clashes and fights here.
Oh,
and there.
you mean for Samurai 8?
For Samurai 8.
Oh, yeah.
For Samurai 8.
Really nice.
And plus, Kid says as well that all the series that are gonna move forward should be seasonal. And plus, one more question is that with Samurai 8 has to be a seasonal because there are a lot of things going to be in the panels with all the particles around the samurais with the bodies because if you look closely, there are some small planets around them as well. So like,
oh, go on. Sorry.
no, so I was gonna say like that makes a good point to bring up about with the art style that with the anime it can actually improve the art style with Samurai 8 with the first two arcs of how being a very different
Definitely.
with the foreground and background, but with the art style in the anime, hopefully a good studio can actually improve it just like it did for Demon Slayer and can actually make it shine much better with art style of the planets, the samurais, the sword slashes, all those type of things that they went through, and play with styles and play with the moves. And I can't wait to see that if one day it happens, maybe 2021, 2022, possibly.
Because
I say early 2022.
Because I was thinking like I think 2021, 2022. But I was thinking like when we get those panels of Hachimaru going to go explore, after he becomes a samurai, that's like 3 or 4 episodes, those 2 or 3 chapters by themselves, because so much happened in those 2 chapters.
And this is another thing, the anime, like you guys said, it could expand on the things that happen as well, like,
Yeah.
And
I'd love to see Anne's backstory expanded.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome, yeah.
Oh,
But
like
the thing
those
is,
kids.
I want to mention this too is it just when you mentioned like studios improving the art style, a few mangas to anime adaptations came to mind. Hoseki no Kuni, aka Land of the Lustrous.
never seen it.
Definitely one of them. Made in Abyss.
Never seen it.
Hunter.
Oh my god, the manga for Made in Abyss is like almost on JoJo levels of fucked up. It really is fucked up. It's and then the other one, oh god, and I kind of want to say Beastars is getting up there because Studio Orange is just I don't know what it is with their CGI. It's so beautiful, and I'm telling if you want to read bizarre stuff, Hoseki no Kuni is definitely bizarre as hell. Oh god, and Beastars is basically I know everyone calls Beastars the furry manga.
Yes, a lot of people do call that.
Beastars is like a more dark and complicated version of Zootopia. Really, really good. Oh my god!
I should check it out. I just saw like a wolf about to have sex with a bunny, and I was like, nah.
No, she don't have. No. Lugosi don't have sex with.
Like it was. I think it was like a lewd panel or something. I don't know, but it's like, nah.
It's Lewis that I think it in the manga. If I remember, 'cause I haven't watched the anime adaptation. In the manga, you see Lewis have sex with Haru, and Lewis. I could be wrong, because it's been a while since I binge read
Mhm.
Beastars, which is a good series.
Okay, I should check it out then.
I'm not gonna
So-
lie to you. The only reason I haven't checked out Beastars is because it's some furry stuff, and I'm like, what is this? Like,
Well-
I'm not. I'm
Bro,
just
but,
not.
there's like gangsta
It doesn't
shit
appeal
going
to
on,
me
like,
at
the
all.
characters
Well,
dying,
You're
like,
not.
I
you're not a
definitely-
curious
is like
fan?
the fucking joke.
I definitely want to watch it because, like, I'm not gonna be explicit here, but I do like some weird shit. But at the same time, I want to support the anime that comes out on Netflix once it drops, and that's what I'm waiting for. So that's what I'm waiting for once it drops on Netflix sometime, whenever it does. I think it should be dropping by the month of February or March. I don't mind watching. I don't mind watching like all those illegal sites, but that's just too much work. All those pop-up ads. I should rather wait for it to drop on Netflix and just
Just for the
much
record,
easier.
do not watch that Kengan Ashura anime adaptation. It does a disservice to the manga. It should have been in 2D.
Oh really?
Not gonna lie.
Really?
That manga is so good. It is the best tournament manga I have ever read.
My friend.
And that's saying a lot because of Dark Tournament and Hunter and the Hunter tournaments and Hunter and like the best way to describe it is like the tournaments in Dragon Ball meets the Dark Tournament. That's what Kengan Ashura is. It is glorious.
That's pretty
Well,
interesting. That's pretty interesting. Is speaking of my partner Sam, he not really. I don't really recall him saying he loved Kengan Ashura, but he liked the way the fights were and everything. But he never really commented on the animation. So, but I just know that he always said the story was very good. So he was very entertained by the story.
Oh, just wait till he reads the manga, see how much they disservice that artwork because it is beautiful. And there's also a sequel to Kengan Ashura called Kengan Covering. And Kengan Omega is really good as well. The art is just, and also the artist follows me on Twitter.
That's dope.
So
That's dope.
yeah, I really just read when you read the manga, you'll be blown away, and then you'll see the animation and that CGI. And it's just like the fucking
That
thing.
CGI was killing me in the anime.
So, have you guys read Kingdom?
Haven't had the chance to-
I've been covering Kingdom for a few years now.
Oh, Kingdom is so good. The anime, like we were just talking about bad anime adaptations, and I feel so bad for Kingdom. Like,
Watch season
Well,
1 and
Kingdom's
2 of
getting
Kingdom.
season 3, by the way. It got announced a couple weeks ago.
I'm gonna
like
watch it.
I'm praying. I'm praying.
It's gonna be CGI again, I bet.
But
But you
I've
can
been
do
covering
CGI
Kingdom
good
since
though.
2016. That's when I've been how long I've been covering Kingdom.
The Coalition arc is probably like the best shonen arc in like history.
Sam said about the CG anime, he wasn't bothered by it, and plus it was pretty smooth, and the fight was pretty hype. He said, about Kengan Ashura.
Oh man, when you read the manga first and then try to watch the anime, it's really hard because that artwork is so gorgeous.
But
So-
one thing I want to ask about the fights, also about Samurai 8, is kind of to bring it back. Is that do you feel like the fights between Samurai 8 and his characters overall are way too short, or do you think that's just because the style of samurais is a 1, 2, 3 go of the slashes, or do you think it's just that's what right now is the current arc of the series, is that they're short but they're gonna expand it much larger in the future?
Well,
I was
I look-
disappointed that the Hachimaru fight was so short. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? That should have been way
That
longer.
could have went 2 chapters. It could have went 2 chapters.
At least 2 chapters, and maybe like 3 chapters at the most.
But I think, I do definitely think the fights would be more expanded on. Like, look at the fight between, when Ata first came down. Like, Hachimaru couldn't even cut him. And we know that Samurai can read. I feel like once you get more top tier, the fights will probably go back to being more shorter because, they have those sealing weapons and whatnot. I feel like they should be more elongated because we got what Daruma and Benkei for two chapters.
Should have been 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it should have. It should have. I felt like that
'Cause
10,
that fight was so fucking epic. I was like, what
It
the
was.
hell?
and it was so beautifully drawn. Like
Oh, God,
when they were
yes, it
flying
was.
throughout space and they had Hachimaru in the background, I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. But Go.
I was gonna say I agree. I think future fights. Okay, with future fights, I do see them being longer. And the thing is, I just feel like the stronger the opponent, the longer the fight will be. That's
Yeah.
how I feel it's going to be. Like, because they're going to be struggling, things like that, and it'll take them longer to defeat the opponent, even if they have help or whatever.
Because essentially it's a fight of your wills at that point. Because that's how I feel like the samurai fights are gonna be.
I'm sorry. I was just saying. I hope we don't get a fairy tale, not 100 year quest, because Mashima handling 100 year quest fights, especially with Natsu, a little bit better. We just better not get like one punch shit. I would be so.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, same here.
No.
But
Same.
One
I don't
Punch
think-
Man manga disappointed me so much because
It's because it's Saitama
that.
ruins it. Saitama ruins it, bro.
that's a comedy. That's
Yeah,
a comedy
like-
story.
But it could be, but the character depth for One Punch Man, like the character,
Like
the
you
storytelling,
cannot
they're-
hype up a
they're
character
phenomenal, bro.
for an entire arc for Saitama just to be like, boom, like, not
One
even one
punch.
punch, like a couple of punches. I'm like, come on now, he needs a challenge. That's one of my biggest
Oh.
gripes with that manga.
Oh, this is a good example from Sam. I think they need more powerful, almost master level power characters from both sides. Have them clash. I remember the fight between between the Dirt Hokage and plus versus a Snake Orochimaru fight. And it was a battle of wit and strength and ability. Do you think that's true? To happen within Samurai 8?
Yeah. So I was hoping we was gonna get that with Ata versus Mugen,
I hope.
and that didn't happen. So I just hope it kind of happens soon.
For me, I hope we get that in the future with Atta and plus the Ruma. That's what I hope to get in the future with them two. Like I hope we get that encounter of struggling, one almost dies, or like one of them lives. Somewhere or
Ata
another.
killed his master.
I think that'd be really good for Ata's character, actually.
Oh yeah, like that's what I hope to see in the future, and that's what I wanted to happen, like probably by chapter 80 or chapter 100, something like that. But that's what I hope we get in the future, because that's what I want something to be, like show the strength of Amanduruma, show how powerful he could be, and that's what I want to happen.
I think we're gonna start getting into those types of fights when we start getting to the keys.
Oh, I can't wait to get to the keys.
Because that's when the real life or death struggle kind of starts between the Ususama, because they're also searching for, Hachimaru and the keys. So they're like right behind them essentially. So I think like we're gonna get like a lot of clashes, especially with how they're building up the Ususama style. It seems like they're gonna be like the main threat, at least through the first half of the story, I think.
Well, in the series, we did get hinted that my man Atta did kill he did kill the princess of the Daruma. Like he didn't really say it, but he was hinted at that, and they implied it. That we're gonna probably see a flashback more of that in the future of how that happened. So most likely,
I'm so excited.
so
about that.
we will see the encounter of how Daruma, failed as a master towards Asta, and why he left them back then.
I did a video. Hold on, like let me
Go.
get this real quick. I did a video where I was talking about Daruma, and I mentioned how at the beginning he's kind of he kind of resembles Hachimaru. I feel like when he was like, "Oh, master, you're giving me another long-winded lecture." So like, I feel like the younger Daruma, before he grew up, he was kind of more or less like Hachimaru, and so since he kind of had that more carefree nature, that's kind of what resulted in Ata. Because it's shown that Ata's like, hey, you've gotten like way more softer on your students, like you've completely changed essentially. That's kind of the vibe I got from them when they met.
And the thing with Ata, I just think, I don't think that Daruma failed them. It was just like he probably just wanted more power, and since the start, even the flashbacks, they say Atta was a prodigy, so he was really cocky and stuff. And I don't know what exactly happened, but he was just like, screw the Kongoyasha school and just left. And maybe it could have been like a Sasuke from Naruto type stuff, where he was just like, I can't get stronger in this school anymore. Like, I don't want to. I want to break my capacity or whatever it is. Seeking more power for whatever the reason.
I don't. So the more we're starting to get samurai, the more I kind of understand Ata's point where he's like, God abandoned us, because essentially it's like it's kind of screwed up. Like if you're either a samurai or you're basically just fodder, and then like there's like a class hierarchy, and then even within the samurai, it seems like there's a class hierarchy there.
Yeah. Safanias in the chat said, I don't think he killed the princess. It was stated by Yasha that they kidnapped her. Well, no, in the unofficial translation, it said it was kidnapped, but the official translation actually does say she died, which was a big change. Which I don't like when the fan scanlations like have such a big change, like translate something so bad, like it just has a big significance in the story and stuff. But yeah, Princess Baku is dead. Like, she's not alive or anything like that.
And like
Look at that huge Japanese box.
And like I'm happy you said the person's name, because I was like, hey, can somebody say that name? Because I was gonna totally butcher it. I was like, thank God.
They said in the future, I want to see Atta without his mask. Yeah,
we
could probably.
Honestly, I hope not, because I like this. I like the character of the mask. Like, I hope we don't get some type of mask reveal. Like, not to kind of compare to Star Wars a bit here. It's kind of like with what's going on with the Mandalorian, with what that's being shown right now. Like, they don't take up the mask. It's part of a code. So hopefully, the Atta don't do that as well. Take off the mask. It's part of his code. He don't do that. So hopefully he stays with that aspect. He's probably scarred from his face or something like that, because it stays. I feel like that's part of his character.
Well, the thing is we could get a mask reveal like when Atta dies. Which
that's fine then. Like,
when he dies.
Yeah, that's fine. But hopefully while he's alive and, still kicking and killing and still, causing ham, hopefully he still, doesn't take off his mask, because, like, I feel like that's a nice part of his character. It's part drawn, it's part of his horn out, stuff like that. Like, it's really cool.
I think it would be cool if the person that kills him is Kala, and he just says, "You failed me. Like, I gave you power, and this is how you use it."
Oh,
or something.
Atta, like Atta betrays Kala.
No, Kala sees Atta as a failure because he failed to, eliminate Hachimaru, and then he just kills him.
I can see that. Because he was upset the first time. He was like, "Oh, you didn't capture him? All right, go in person this time."
It's kind of
like that would be crazy.
It's kind of like that, and it plus it uses how it could make it feel like Atta feels like the Darth Maul. He kind of feels to the Darth Vader and plus a Palpatine. So it feels like if that actually happens, it very feels like Star Warsy, because that's what happened in the movies and the comics, stuff like that. So it does feel like more Star Wars things if those things happen.
Yeah. Christian said what's up in the chat, and they said that's why I wait for Sundays. Yeah, I'm gonna read. I always reread the chapters every time it comes out on Sundays. I'm gonna read it. Obviously today is Sunday now, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it is now. Wow.
Yeah, because the thing is, I understand like fan translations are not gonna be perfect, but when it's just like when something gets changed major, I'm like, oh come on, don't do this to me. Like, how do you change 1 km? It's supposed to be 10,000 km for the planet, for the angular warhead. They put it 1 km. I'm like, come on now, that doesn't make any sense. It's a number.
Yeah, I was upset about that. I was like, how?
And that's one thing why I like to read the official, even though it's not always perfect. And it's like how, like, for example, the fans hate this, how Viz calls Zoro Zolo, but we have known him as always for so many years with Zoro with an R. So something like that, like.
But in the anime, isn't it? Don't they say Zoro?
Yeah, with Zoro. So that's why
they say like Zol, like It's weird.
It's weird, but
Like you can
that's what
kind of feel the L-R like
but
in there.
no, there's a big difference between an R and an L. Like
Well-
like love, and then you say with an R, rove. Like you hear the totally different, like Zoro, Zolo. Like there's a total difference.
Like I feel like this, like it's like it's like Zoro, something like that.
And that's one thing I'm happy with doing the Viz translation, and also it kind of helps out with the schedule for me and Sam to kind of cover it, but also it feels nice to read the official to support it on Viz and all that. But also that I know that some translation is not always perfect.
Oh man,
Is kind of like Chainsaw Man. I know that they also have some Russian type of dialogue, and they don't actually translate that in the official. So I know there are some pros and cons with the official translation from this. I know it's not always the best.
And
Like,
even on Crunchyroll, like when I watch anime and read the subtitles, sometimes they misspell words. I'm like, Crunchyroll, what? Like,
y'all don't do spell check.
no, it's not big. Like it's not really
Yeah.
that big of a deal. But I'm like, I'm paying for a service here now.
I feel like with technical series, the scanlations kind of take away more from like the storytelling aspect.
My Hero Academia, like
Yeah.
the last chapter that came out, I forgot. I
Wait.
think Aizawa said something,
Wait.
which I'm not gonna spoil it.
I was about to say that spoilers are there because some people don't. Some people
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
read
I'm
the
not gonna
manga.
spoil anything. But so a character said something, which I'm gonna wait for the official translation and see what it actually like was phrased. Because phrasing is everything. Like in the
It
scanlation,
is.
they phrase things
Especially in
badly.
Archer.
In
Yeah.
what?
I said especially in Archer, phrasing is very important.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Archer. Oh, I love that series. Phrasing the best there. That's one of the best adult comedy animation out there ever.
I don't know
I
if you
totally
guys
agree.
like read
No,
like
it's so
spoilers or
old.
anything on like Reddit.
I never,
What?
honestly, I've
Oh.
never used Reddit. I cannot understand Reddit. That's the
I
one.
don't use Reddit either, man.
I don't,
Really?
I don't understand Reddit. It's very confusing. Type of, I guess, platform. I guess that's what it is, right? Platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only use it for Samurai 8, like see
Really?
fan art, things like that. Like,
Yeah.
like some people
Tumblr
have like
is
discussions on
where
there.
I use
So
sometimes.
Though,
But Tumblr could get very, very nasty because the yaoi side of the community comes out on there.
although only two
Did they not get
platforms.
rid of porn?
Oh no! Like for me, the only two platforms I use all the time is Twitter, and then after that, it's just Discord. I've never understood Reddit. It's very weird, and plus Twitter. One thing I hate Twitter the most is that they're not. People don't use spoiler tags. Like with me covering the officials, Samurai A, Black Clover, One Piece, whatever it is, we cover Sundays, but people on Fridays piss me the F off when I used to cover every single series. Like people just post pictures there, like at least put, hey guys, spoilers for this series. People just post it there and just say, you know this, hasta this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Christian,
Bro, One Piece is so bad with it.
no.
man.
One Piece, I had to give it props to because One Piece I barely get spoiled by. That's the craziest thing. One of the most biggest
Dude.
series out there, biggest sales, popular, everything, and I barely get spoilers because I love them for one thing. They put their tags. They put One Piece hashtag One Piece chapter 965 or
Oh,
whatever it
yeah.
is. And that's one thing I love about them. Praise you, mother F One Piece fans, because you guys hashtag everything. And I could just, scrolling. Oh, hashtag One Piece, scroll down, scroll away. Hashtag One Piece, scroll away. But no, Black Hole fans don't do this.
Because we used to have a big problem. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
We used to have a big problem with spoilers because I know you do stuff for Rogers Base, so I'm gonna just bring him up for example.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll go through his comment section sometimes, and like people will intentionally misspell are you guys caught up to One Piece?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
except this weekend chapter. So not this weekend.
I fucking
Well, like-
love Odin.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Odin.
cry, I swear.
Odin's the GOAT. But
Odin
like,
is,
the
yes.
bounty reveal
Uh-huh.
chapter. I saw someone type under like Roger's comments on like something like completely unrelated to One Piece. Like Rayleigh, Whitebeard, Big Mom, and then it had like the bounties, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing?
No, I hate that the most when like, hey guys, we love our fans. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys, always commenting on our videos and everything. But the things that I dislike the most is that if we have a video out, for example, My Hero chapter 360, for example, but then in the comment section they talk about Black Clover, One Piece, and Samurai. I'm like, but guys, can you talk about this in our Discord or Twitter? This is the wrong section to talk about. This is not the topic of the video. This is topic about My Hero chapter 360, and that's the one thing is like we don't want to be spoiled about. And also when fans spoil us on purpose, it's like, why don't you want us to show you the real authentic reaction, the whole discussion about this chapter series? I never understood this.
I never understood why do they go out of their way to try to spoil them. It's just like.
The worst thing is when I was on Twitter scrolling and I see a giant Black Clover manga spoiler, which I do not read the manga, and I was like, why?
I got spoiled on
I got that a lot.
It's not you. It was somebody I don't even follow, because sometimes Twitter has something that's like, oh, this person, one of the people you follow follows this person or whatever, and then it was like, boom, right in my face. I was like, can I be surprised, please? Just
I got spoiled on one of the recent endings to a Demon Slayer chapter.
Oh my god, I hate the Demon Slayer people because they also don't put spoiler tags, because I've been spoiled, not really spoiled, but panel shots that they post up of the fight between right now of Tanjiro and Muzan, and it pisses me off. Like, guys, I'm an anime watcher, and I'm here just saying crap that don't happen until like 2 seasons later.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you come across me when I do that, because
do you know the panel I'm talking about? That where it ended, and I don't want to spoil, but it was I think it was like 2 chapters ago.
That's one reason. Like, do not take this no offense on Packergirl. That's one reason why I don't follow you, because you post a lot of spoilers as well. So like there are some people that I choose not to follow, since I know that, hey, they are friends from the YouTube community. I love to follow them, but the thing that sucks is that I scroll way too much on Twitter, and I want to see stuff that my fellow content creators, fans, people that I have a mutuals put out. But some people don't put spoiler hashtags, so I have to not follow them. But I should be curious to know what they do. Or I read the chapter, now I could check what these people have been doing. But I just don't follow people that just don't ever put spoiler
especially
tags.
Since I like if you review a series, like, I review like My Hero Academia, the manga, and sometimes I like check on Twitter in the mornings, but now I don't even do that like when the chapters come out, because I know one person will put something that happened in the chapter. I was like, no, okay, I gotta first read the chapter myself, then go on Twitter, because I know I'm gonna get spoiled.
Never check like the spoiler threads on Twitter. Like, I just don't, because I'm just like, you know what? I want to make sure I read or do my live reaction, and then if I feel like it, I'll go look at it. But usually I don't. Usually my comment section, like for some series, Gotoba no Hanayome, for example. Oh my god, that comment section gets heated because the community's so divided on who is best girl. And I get a lot of shit because the best girl is Yotsuba, and Yotsuba is the shit.
You know what I hate? You know what I dislike is when the chapter doesn't even come out. It's like 2 days before the chapter comes out, and there's
the Ross out
already spoiler. The spoiler pictures are out. I'm like, bro, come. And like I've gotten spoiled on Boruto so many times. I'm like, bro, I didn't want to see this.
I when me and Sam used to cover all the way 2 months ago with Samurai A, Black Clover, One Piece, and My Hero. The one thing I love about Samurai 8, because it used to take so long to come out. So like, hey Sam, let's just cover the official for Samurai 8, and it doesn't really come out without spoilers. So I'm like, that's the one series I was happy that now people like to spoil that series. I'm like, cool, love it that people don't spoil Samurai 8. But Black Clover heads are the ones that annoy me the most on Twitter, because they just post, oh, this what happened to Yuno, this what happened to Asta. Oh my god, this is
yes!
I'm like,
bro.
The Yuno is amazing, by the way.
I feel like just unfollowing people just because they don't put like tags. I'm like, yo, I love ya, yeah, cool peeps, but at the same time, I just want to curse every single one of
The-
ya because y'all don't
The
put tags.
worst,
Sorry.
the worst people
Sorry,
is
man.
the worst people is the ones that, you know, a reviewer or somebody who says, okay, I'm actually checking out this anime, and instantly somebody puts the biggest spoiler in the world of that anime
my
for
God.
no reason. I'm
It's
like,
like,
why
bro.
would you do that?
This is why I read when I cover manga to anime adaptations. I read the manga and so spoiled.
But that's one thing that I'm happy that like me, I'm on Twitter all the time, so I could tell Sam like, hey Sam, don't jump on Twitter, don't check these people out, and like because even though I get spoiled, I say it. I feel like for example, tomorrow I'm gonna read Black Clover when it comes out. I'm gonna be like, hey guys, the only thing I know about this person, you know, is because of this thing. You know, if you have people that like to spoil me on Twitter, you know, can you put your hashtags because I wanna, you know, react to it in peace. And I am honest about it, but that's something that I hope that later, during time, people can understand. Like, yes, it's their own Twitter, it's their own account. They can do whatever the hell they want. But some people like to support the official. Some people like to read the actual good translation about Samurai A or My Hero that doesn't sound like the power of friendship, stuff like that. Because fan translation is helpful, but it's not always the correct one, and that's the thing that helps kind of makes sad for us content creators or us fans that try to read the official, and you know we have to wait 3 days because you know people have to work on the translation, you know, get it correctly, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and one thing I wanted to add, it's not like we, as content creators, we don't like, you know, our fans that, you know, talk about the manga. Like, if we just come across a spoiler, we come across a spoiler. I think my biggest issue is the people that go out of their way to spoil you. I think that's where it's like, bro, screw you.
I almost
Like,
blocked somebody for posting a spoiler thing on Twitter, but I was like, no, let me calm down. Let me just.
Robbie get it toxic. It ruins the experience, man.
One thing I wonder
I
is
just
that
hope this fandom doesn't get toxic like Boku no Hero Academia has.
Oh my God, My Hero fandom is
No.
wild, man.
I think
No, I'm not gonna lie.
SJWs have fucked it up too, of course.
the worst one.
If SJW, thank God SJWs, for the most part, don't read manga, because, oh God!
The
Bro,
worst.
they be going in like on the cheerleader picture where for My Hero, they
Oh,
were like,
yes.
oh, her
When
boobs
they
aren't
threaten
this big.
Horikoshi,
I'm like, come on, bro, it's not that serious.
And plus, at the same time, to me, the worst. I think throughout the year and a half that I've been doing content creating now, I don't see My Hero that bad. I see Black Clover worse as a manga community because they always try to compare the animation, but then compare the manga between My Hero. I'm like, what's the point? Yeah, comparing. Yeah, I'm running about almost the same chapter length. Can you just enjoy yourselves? But they just like to compare each other and just say who's the better character, who's the better MC, who's the better this. I'm like, who the F cares? Can we just enjoy the series at the
Can
end
we
of the
just
day?
talk
wait,
about the
really? I
series?
haven't seen that in the Black Clover, well, at least for my stuff, and I've been
Oh.
covering Black Clover for at least a year
I
now,
s-
or two,
Oh,
year or two
Black
now.
Clover stands are toxic.
Oh,
And the My Hero Academia community, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I love My Hero and I've been following it for a very long time. But some people be like, My Hero Academia is the best anime of all time. They be like,
just like the Crunchyroll awards with the,
Yeah,
the My Hero awards.
oh yeah.
bro,
My Hero Award, yeah.
That fight was not. Oh my God, best anime fight of the year. Come
Oh,
on. Bro.
That was not.
that was not
Hey,
the fight
what
of the
was
year.
that fight that they
Bakugo
nominated for my
versus. I think it was Bakugo.
No. It was
Oh,
it-
My versus All for One?
correct. It was.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That fight was not fight of the year.
It wasn't.
It
That
wasn't.
wasn't, and it wasn't that beautiful. Like compared to Horikoshi's art in the manga, it was not beautiful.
Boruto.
Nowhere near.
Boruto episode.
Boruto fight won it.
Boruto fight
Should
won
have.
that.
Should have won that. But
Yeah.
the one thing I appreciate about Samurai 8 fan base is that they're not toxic so far. They're entertaining and they're hopeful about the series to succeed. So far, I haven't seen no negativity. So far, I have seen only positivity about the series and how many people just enjoy it and they hope and to hopefully the series to make money and continue going. The only negativity about it is just people saying that it's boring. I'm like, have you given it a chance? Have you tried it?
Oh, it's the same thing with
No,
Eden
there-
Zero. People like on their my anime lists or whatnot. People were telling me that Eden Zero was getting shitty reviews on there. I'm like, really? Have these people even read it?
A lot of them don't read it. They just call it trash. I'm just like, come on.
I'm not gonna lie. The only time the Samurai 8 community gets a little toxic is when somebody says something stupid about the series.
Really?
And yeah. So
I get very toxic.
it's not even. It's because it's like it's not even criticism towards the series. It's something that doesn't make no sense. And then I see some people be like defending Samurai. I like when people defend their series, but in a nice way, obviously.
Oh yeah, same here, of course.
Who was
I'm just
it? I
scared
think.
that it's gonna end up like Naruto. Like we're gonna have the Narutards like switch over to Samurai.
Ah, please, for the love of God.
Sorry,
Bro,
had to
I don't want any female toxicity. I don't want any princess toxicity, alright? Because you know we're gonna get it.
Oh, most
Oh, we're
likely.
gonna get it from the SJWs, like we did with Tommy Shield Hero. We're so gonna get it, and that's why again I'm so glad SJWs don't read manga because there's so much non-PC content and it's amazing and I love it.
Manga is my favorite source material, and that's comic books. Comic books are good. It's just that they play safe. Is because it's very forced to children, and plus it's also for a lot of American people. That's where comic books are mostly based and try to go for. And manga, they just Japan culture of more freedom. They go crazy with the edginess or the seriousness or with the shoujo. There's an audience for everybody, and that's what I love about the manga.
Yeah.
And as well for Samurai 8, for being sci-fi, is trying something new, and Kishimoto's upfront about it. He said it in the interview. I forgot who brought it up. I think Light brought it up before earlier. That he said it that a lot of people won't like my series in the beginning because it's something different, and it is also sci-fi, and they have never gotten sci-fi before. So he knew about it from the beginning, and he's pushing forward, and hopefully he is reading the positive messages instead of the negative people.
Here's the thing though, I kind of hope that Kishimoto is gonna do what Mashima has been doing, because what Mashima does is he actually listens to the fans, and because of that, Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest is so much better than Fairy Tail.
Oh yeah, that's 10 times true. Even though right now it's run as weekly and it's trash.
I know, I hate that it's weekly, even though I want to see like I'm sorry, I want to see really love the Urza versus Loxus fight so far.
But it's so short.
Good, at least for me. But like some of the shit got really rushed, and it kind of made me mad.
Same here. Agree.
One thing I don't agree is, I think yes, it's good for manga to listen, but I don't think they should like always take fan feedback all the time, because at the end of the day, is their vision, is their work, and no matter how many fans, I forgot what, I think it was the last Fairy Tail arc, complained like Hiromashima. I remember I made a video. I was like, the title was Hiromashima lost his mind because something so stupid happened in it. And as long as the mangaka continues their creative vision and the fans enjoy, that's fine. And even if the fans don't enjoy it, at the end of the day, it's their work. And they probably won't change it, even if we complain about it.
Was that the Agnologia versus...
Nakaba's finally getting back to where Nanatsu no Taizai is good, but holy shit, for a while...
No. Two things I want to disagree with you there, like, is because spoilers for anybody that did not read the last arc of Fairy Tail or watch the last season of the anime, but Markov, he actually killed Markov and wanted him dead, but so many fandoms in Japan didn't like that, so he had to bring Mashima back. So he had to bring Markov back, and he said that when he went to New York Comic Con in 2018 when I met him, he said that to the whole audience that he killed him and he wanted to stay dead. But every time he tries to kill somebody, the fandom in Japan kind of riots, so that's why he has to bring these characters back.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off with Kakashi, bro. If Kakashi would have died during the Pain arc, his character would have been so much better.
Well, at least I'm sorry I'm spoiling Eden Zero, but at least Valkyrie is staying Being dead. That's all I gotta say.
I hate when they don't follow through with killing
But
people.
but that sucks is that you have to change your own stories because of fandom,
Exactly.
and that's where I kind of disagree with you there, Light. Is that sorry, I kind of agree with you there, Light, because I wish he went with his own gut, and it would have made me
too.
enjoy the last arc of Fairy Tail more. Because yes, Natsu killing Agnolia with one punch was still dumb, and I do not agree with that. He did not defeat him, even
And I
though
love that
in the
Mashima
whole
made fun of it in 100 Years
Thank
Quest.
you.
That was a freaking
I was about
conversation with Ignia.
I was about to bring up, like, I'm happy that Hiro made fun of that, because if he said that, he said it almost 10 times throughout the first 20 chapters, saying that, oh yeah, Nasu defeated Agnolia. Like, no, I got help. And I was so happy because he technically did not defeat it. He had help with assistance by 8 other Dragon Slayers. But I'm so sad that he couldn't let some characters get, stay dead. It's because the fandom in Japan, and the fan in Japan, I think, are more critical than us, even, because they call Samurai 8 not good. They call My Hero villain arc not good, and that's one of the best arcs of My
Don't
Hero.
get me started on the popularity poll.
In My Hero, bro.
And that's just sad. Like, how does the Japan culture do not, like, I understand is
That'd
that,
be wildin', bro.
and it's just crazy to see them being more critical than us, when sometimes I see us being more critical than them. But when you hear the opinions of Japan saying that about Samurai 8 should get canceled, that some Japan people actually made accounts to try to talk crap about Samurai 8 is crazy and intense.
Not only that, damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, like, even the popularity poll in My Hero Academia, the Japanese fans have Momo Yaoyorosu, which has done basically nothing in the series, as number 10.
Oh yeah,
over Endeavor and Hawks. And I was like, this is crazy.
Endeavor and Hawks is carrying My Hero right
is
now.
Endeavor's
It's
current
ridiculous.
arc, not to get into spoilers with most, because this is more about Samurai 8, but Endeavor's arc has been amazing. It's been,
I agree.
This is, and it's sad to say,
SJWs are going nuts over the
Yeah,
it
they,
is,
they are.
doesn't deserve redemption. I'm like, what?
it's sad to
Come on.
say that Endeavor's arc and story has been way better than my man All Might, and All Might has not, like, over all the series, Endeavor arc has been beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, something
Thank
that
you.
I've been saying for a while is Horikoshi, and I've noticed this a lot, is Horikoshi just loves to write for anti-heroes and villains.
Oh, and I love
Those
that.
arcs have been, like, I love Bakugo's writing.
Oh,
It's
he's the
just
best.
Amazing. Todoriki's writing has been really good lately. And Endeavor's writing is amazing, and then the villain arc was just incredible. I just don't know what it is with Horikoshi and villains and anti-heroes. He just loves writing for them.
To also bring it back with Samurai, do you think we will get some type of villain arc in the future? With Ata, more presence.
Hope so.
I think we're gonna get a little bit of the brothers.
Yeah, definitely.
We
I
have
think
to get the
that's
brothers, like,
fine.
maybe see like them in a meeting or something. We're gonna see that and like see how they're gonna plan shit out.
I really want a villain arc now.
It
really
would be cool with the brothers. That maybe each brother, one, like, each of them is like, there's a rank of how strong they are. That would be really cool.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
that would be
Nikaku,
nice.
which is the oldest brother, might be the strongest. But yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, I'm
really
kind of
interesting.
leaning towards Ikaku being the strongest.
One thing I hope about the clones and brothers is that I hope each of them have some type of different personality, and they each have their own power. Because those clones, they remind me of Pain, of how each of them had a different look.
Yes,
I like that.
So,
I like that.
so that's how they reminded me of how each of these characters have their own, like, not really a big difference look, but what I hope is that they each have a different power, some type of different attribute or something like that, and a different personality, because it shows them that they're different and they're unique in their own way. Even though they all look like a Hachimaru, but they all have their own unique personality. Like, one is grouchy, one is mean, one is rude, one is nice. Like,
I like
hey, Hachimaru,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm gonna join your side.
Sins.
Like the one that'll convert, probably. You'll have one that converts, obviously. That'll be like, oh, I don't necessarily agree with this or something.
I totally agree. That's how I saw it when I first found out the clones, and like, it kind of reminded me of like with the clones from the Clone Wars from Star Wars. So not all the clones were bad, so some were good. So that's how I saw it as well.
Wait, so how did you guys feel when that got revealed, and I just want to add that Ikaku was slandering the hell out of Hachimaru. All right, and I found that very hilarious because he was
Yes.
he was like, "It's really easy to forget about you." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, Ikaku had no chill. He was just like, "Come on, just die already, like, so we can complete the key thing."
That was so disrespectful. I'm like, this man just found out his whole life story. He's like, yeah, all that's cool and all, but just go ahead and die so we can go do what we gotta do. Oh, dude. But how did you guys feel about the brothers?
I was happy about that. Not really happy. I was more shocked because I didn't expect to have some type of twin scientists around here and more playing with the clone side because Star Wars. I don't know if you ever guys read the comics or know about a bit of the comics about the legends, but Star Wars did play with the clones about the chosen one and Anakin. They in the old comic book versions they did make clones of my man Anakin. So I felt like that's what they were playing. My man Kishimoto was doing that with. So like okay, they're playing with the old canon stories of what the clones could be with Hachimaru. Of him being the chosen one of the eighth. So I'm like okay, so this is probably where he's trying to go for. So this was it's pretty interesting story with what he was going with the clones.
And the clones, I think, because Kishimoto is no stranger to clones, but in Naruto Gaiden, there was like some Uchiha clone things there. I forgot their names.
Oh, the shins.
Oh yeah, the shins. Yeah, it's true.
Shin Uchihas. That's what it was giving me vibes. Like, oh wow, it's really cool. Like, at the end of the day, Kishimoto, he also takes elements from his prior series and mixes and puts it in Samurai, and I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, we see
I mean,
Mashima in Eden Zero. Do you think
I
about
agree.
it?
I think
that's
it's like
true.
they just have some little, niches that they're already like they can't break. So I mean, but that's fine. That's understandable.
Just don't do similar character designs.
Oh my god.
For Mashima.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we're looking at you, Mashima, but
That's
the
what
thing is,
annoyed
what
me.
Mashima did though with Heroes, so much better.
Oh, yeah.
It made me appreciate it.
That's something that he did with comedy. And do you think in the future, do you think Samurai 8 will do something like that as a joke? More of a little,
I hope
3-part
so.
story?
I'd love to get a crossover with Boruto, Naruto.
I was just about to say that.
That would be so epic. A la Heroes,
I
of
think-
course, and like
think-
if we have like Kishimoto's imagination, holy shit, that'd be.
Yeah, like,
You know what would be even crazier?
What?
If
I
we
would like
get
the Otsutsuki added.
if we get like a because we haven't gotten like maybe a future Boruto movie. Maybe a future Boruto movie cross Boruto X Samurai 8. That would be crazy. Like, and then like Boruto and Hashimaru fight against some villain. I would be fanboy because that would be amazing to me.
I'm telling you, man, just make it the Otsutsuki. That's where they're already going with it. So
Yeah, the Otsuki is basically the main antagonist of the entire Boruto series right now.
I'm gonna need it to. I just need.
But then I was gonna ask you guys the big main question here of the stream itself. Do you guys think Hachimaru will be a good MC for the new decade coming with 2020, the new decade of its series of Shonen Jump with the new series coming out with Zip Man, My Hero, Black Horror, My Anna in 2-3 years. Maybe Samurai 8 will be longer than that, surpass it and maybe carry Shonen Jump. Do you guys see Hachimaru being as a good MC and a good top tier manga in the long run?
I want to say I think I want to wait until we get one of those really long arcs because I feel like that'll determine where the series is actually gonna go.
I think when we meet the first clone, I think that's when we'll really know.
Okay.
I feel like once we get introduced to the key, like the whole point of this is to get the money so that they can go on the journey to find keys. That's why we, stopped off at this planet. So I
They're
think
gonna steal.
Yeah, so I think once we get that first arc where we're starting to get the keys involved and we get more lore into the story, because Samurai 8 has had moments, but it hasn't had that moment where you could say, okay, this is where it's gonna pop or whatever, or like
Kind of like with
when
kind of like with Eden Zero when we it didn't really pop until we met Weiss, really.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Weiss is what really made it pop, and his character, and like the one where he just makes all the comedy and the nice edgy jokes, makes the whole crew feel like a family more because the way he is with a sarcastic vibe, saying always, "Hey, I'm not part of the crew," but then down the line, you became part of the crew.
yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, I think I find
Yeah.
it hilarious right now. But he always ends up there. I'm like, you said you're leaving. What are you doing back? It's great.
I definitely see Hashimaru as being one of the flag bearers for the next, decade for in Shonen Jump and stuff. And I think as the series progressed, like you guys said, yeah, like when we get a really long arc and stuff with more development and stuff, I think more people will get into Samurai 8, and hopefully some people like drop the series come back to the series and give it a chance. And this is a side note, in Eden Zero there's a character with the Ether Gear Steel that stole up somebody's panties, which I was like, what the it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was
It was
that was
Paul.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all make me see. I can't wait for this
You-
stream
you-
so I can
you
go
gotta
read
read
Eden
Eden
Zero,
Zero,
bro.
man.
I can't wait. I can't
Zero.
wait, man.
And if you guys dropped off from Fairy Tail and did not request because Ignia is life, and also Toka is fucking stupid to think that the white mage Toka, not Toka in her true form, to think that like she could use the power of the other god. I just am like, huh? That was so stupid when she said that. I was like, what?
Yo, so who? I see you guys are covering Sword Art Online.
Oh yes, it's me. Hi.
Is is it good?
Um,
Because I dropped off the anime around after the gun game.
Okay, not to get off topic, I will say quick. We can have like a more conversation about Sword Art Online, since that's like a whole different topic about it. But I'll tell you quick. SAO season 3 Alicization is the best. I will say best like 20 more times. The best season as it has ever been. Sword Art
Okay,
Online
that was just my quick question. Sorry about that.
is highly recommendable. I would say that if you ever want to watch it, to do it, is because it's really entertaining and it's its best. And to really, you could skip season 2, the last arc, or you could watch it and just cook food and at least know what's going on. But after that, watch the movie and then watch season 3, because the movie season 3 are the best it has ever been. You literally
Okay.
forget season 1 and 2. You're like, oh damn, I forgot season 1 and 2 was really average. Season 3 makes it a 4 out of 5, a 5 out of 5.
Okay, I like that.
But like, here's the question I have for you guys: what studios would you want to adapt Samurai 8?
As a studio,
Bones.
no,
No, not Bones. I don't think, because Bones. Well, maybe Bones because there's not as much detailing in Samurai 8.
I do agree actually that, because I think Bones actually fit the animation for Samurai 8, because Bones honestly, if I have to I might be in the small minority here. People might not hate me or something right now, but Bones animation do not fit for my hero. I don't see it
No.
fit. It doesn't fit to me.
I agree, because the problem is with Bones animation for My Hero, what I remember, because I haven't watched season 4 because I'm just been like, I really don't want to be depressed by bad art or whatever, or bad adaptations lately, so I'm just like, but from what I remember, the problem that I had with My Hero Academia's animation is that there was not a lot of detailing where
Yeah.
it needed to be. Like for all for one, he just looked awful because there wasn't enough line work on his head in particular.
I
and
do
a lot of
agree.
the
His
detail
Yeah,
was
I
off.
agree.
his
100%.
head felt like a little black ball. I'm like, but
Yes.
Exactly.
in the manga, he looks like he has more detail, and that's why, like, no disrespect to the studio, to the people that animated. It's just that their style don't fit it, and to me, Samurai 8 fits a better style for Bones. I think a better style for My Hero is probably Mappa, Wit, or something like that. But Bones doesn't
But the
fit the
problem
character.
is Mappa would butcher the writing, of course, because that's what Mappa does with every series, unfortunately.
I feel like Mappa did great with the anime that came out at the beginning of this year, Dotoro, and that was great to me.
Dotoro, they fucked up the lore in the very beginning. I was like, what?
Me,
They fucked up the lore badly.
me
I
myself.
really enjoyed Dotoro.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
that.
I love that.
anime.
I love that anime. So I was never really influenced by it. And plus, Christian said that one of the studios could be Ufotable, and that's a good one. But at the same time,
Oh yeah, I like UFO Table.
that's
I
a
do like UFO Table, but the problem is Samurai 8 has less detailing.
yeah, less
than,
details. So I don't really think they need that extra beautiful animation to make it off the books.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
don't.
Demon Slayer
I don't
does a
agree
lot
with
of.
that because, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because, compared to Kimetsu no Yaiba, for example, with Gotoge, there's a lot less detailing in Samurai 8's art, so it could actually work in their favor. There's not that detailed anatomical art that Gotoge does, and that's what pissed me off about Kimetsu no Yaiba, was because a lot of the anatomical art that Gotoge did not get translated. I was like, what the fuck?
I gotta say, I don't like I don't like when the animation's too flashy. It's for Samurai 8. I feel like it's not gonna be one of those more flashy series. More of it's gonna be it's not gonna be like a Black Clover or a
I hope it's not going to be like a Black Clover because that art is terrible.
well, not like
Hey,
animation,
hey.
but like in the manga. You know how in the manga it's very detailed and whatnot.
Stop bullying Black
So,
Clover
like-
anime.
She's so
I'm
crazy.
sorry, it's bad. I have to agree with her as well.
No, it's bad.
That animation is horrible.
Let
It
us
doesn't
enjoy
do
it in
Tomon's art
peace.
justice.
At all. So I think Samurai could be done justice. Yeah, we got it. Could be done justice by the fact that it's kind of like Naruto, where it's more like you get the setting, but then you kind of go into this more disclosed location to have your fight. Where it's not all as intricate and whatnot. So I think it can work. Who did Naruto Studio? Was it Period?
Period.
Yeah, it was
Period.
Period.
Period did Bleach and Naruto at the same time somehow.
And that animation was really great because it was very simplistic. They mostly focused on the action and whatnot and fleshing out the story. So I feel like for those types of stories, it'll work. But once you start getting more complex and detailed with the art and whatnot, you have to get a very specific studio to handle it.
Was a good reason that Ryan brought up. Ufotable has a lot of sword fighting anime, so this series can actually be good for it because, for example, Fate is actually a sword fighting, and that's as known by it because of Fate is its big anime adaptation that's really known for, and now also Demon Slayer with its beautiful sword fighting as well. So it's actually a good possible Samurai 8 is another sword fighting as well, and it's more simplistic. So you guys are bringing good possible reasons with it.
I would like for. So where do you guys want to see the next arc go? I guess so we can get close to wrapping up.
Okay, so me, next arc, I want more slice of life, and then towards the end. Well, not towards the end, towards the middle of the arc. After they're having fun, they find. They're looking for the key, one of the keys in the planet. They're close to finding the key, and before they find the key, one of Hashi's brothers goes to the planet and interferes, and there's a big battle. That's what I want.
What about finding out Ryu's identity? That's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen next arc.
I kind of want that.
It's gotta happen in the next couple of arcs.
I kind of want Ryu identity, or for him to regain his consciousness, his memory, and who he is, his background, and his princess. I want to at least get that by chapter 50 to 80. That's the one arc I want to happen around there, because I feel like another 2 arcs should happen before that happens, and then after that,
I agree.
we find out more about Ryu, get to know his character, who he is, and maybe maybe he's gonna do some type of Sasuke move and leave the whole ship, get away, train, probably betray them, and then after that come back and say, "Hey guys, I'm good now," or some shit like that.
You know what I'm thinking about too? I wouldn't mind an extreme training arc, like how we had it in Kimetsu no Yaiba. There was a little bits of comedy in there. Oh my god, that training arc has to be one of my favorite training arcs.
Okay. I think yeah. Okay. So you want an actual like training arc so he can learn like Kongoyashi
Well, I think
style
we're gonna have to,
abilities.
especially since if Kotsuga gets the Yoshitsune key, like I think he's
That's
going to, we're gonna have a training arc for especially Kotsuga.
So I like those points, and Light and Packergirl, you guys have kind of combined what I think is gonna happen. So I think they might end up joining up with like Sin and whatnot afterwards
That would be awesome.
while Daruma's sleeping.
Oh, that'd be
So
interesting.
we could get some Galactic Federation stuff. So like he can still have a teacher, and Daruma even called him a good teacher earlier on. Earlier in the arc, he was like, "This
Yeah.
guy's gonna be your teacher." So I would like him to take over that role because he won't be as overwhelming as Daruma is, and we can kind of get like Hachimaru growing and not like a overpowered protector.
But D, you do bring up something good that I also want to see is about the government and plus about the Federation itself, because we barely know any information about that, because we sadly for Eden Zero, as much as I love Eden Zero, we don't know anything about the Force and about the whole government. We just got hints about it, but Samurai 8,
Yeah.
I feel like we will get more hints about it much sooner than later, and that's what I hope we get to see, because I want to see some strong, I guess some strong police officers, if you want to, say, with the government. Like that's what I want to see in the future from Samurai 8. Show some nice characters with that's part of the government, but it's also strong, and maybe they want to train these characters as well. Because they see them as the next light of hope.
Well, we kind of got a little bit of taste of law enforcement in Eden Zero, but it was a very small taste.
Yeah,
and
very
hopefully
small.
they're
Too
gonna
small.
Get involved again.
Yeah, it was too small.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was too small and too quick.
Yeah, it was very quick. But I think I would very much like to get the galactic side of things to see where they kind of stand, or like maybe we could get like a school involved or something where they go train at a dojo or something.
Um.
But I just want to the lore, I guess.
Oh, and the other thing I want to mention too is that I want to see Zen's princess train Anne.
I would like that a lot, actually. I was thinking that was gonna happen too.
Me personally, I don't, just because it was mentioned a couple of chapters ago that you have to train to become a princess, and I think Anne already trained and she's a princess, and I don't think any more training will really do that much of a difference, in my personal opinion.
Well, look at the beginning we got Princess Sa and Princess Neri, where I think Princess Sa was able to physically see Hachimaru from space and see what was going on with him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Even with the locker ball, she knew all that without saying, being there. And then Princess Neri was able to locate Hachimaru across quadrants, basically, because they were in a completely different space. I think they were in like a cube space, and she found them, and they were like, "Okay, let's go there." So I think they're gonna have some type of importance.
So here, I have a good theory that Sam's bring up. Do you guys believe that Hachimaru absorbs one of his brothers every time he beats them? Mainly because
that would be interesting.
Mainly because they cannot open the box without him. So it was Hachimaru who absorbed a portion of the 7 brothers, aka the 7 other keys. Do you guys think that's a good? Do you guys think that's a good theory?
That.
Very interesting.
I like that.
That's a really great theory. Also, because what if during battle, right, Hashimaru could tap into the consciousness of any of the brothers he absorbs, and maybe their fighting style might be useful in that battle to use or something.
we're already
like
getting
that,
some semblance. We're already getting some semblance with Benkei, where he's able to use the different schools' fighting styles basically at will. So for any situation, so I think we could get that, and we also saw when Daruma was talking about when he saw Hachimaru awaken, when he first, became a samurai. He said he saw him in the future, and so around his samurai soul, it had like seven little balls around it. Let me see if I can find the panel.
And didn't
Put it in the
Daruma
chat.
say to Hachimaru that he could become a greater samurai than he was?
Oh yeah.
He did say
So
that.
it means we're gonna get
Yeah,
more transformation.
that's gonna be crazy.
But I think that's more very shonen like. That's happened all the time. Like it's just like we know, aka Boruto is gonna become a better like a better ninja than his father because he's that's bound to happen.
Me personally, I don't think that's gonna happen. Even though it's shonen's trope, I
don't
just
see it
want to see
happening
the new
either.
generation in Naruto, like, well, even Boruto, and like becoming stronger than his father at his prime. But it could happen. It could happen because he has Kara and all that stuff. Extra abilities and things like that.
But it's possible for sure.
I just put it in the chat. But look at that panel with Hachimaru as an adult. And you see around Samurai Soul, it has like 7 of them.
I remember that.
I remember that. Me and Sam loved that panel when we saw him in the future, and
Yes.
I love that. Like, yo, that's a possibility. So I'm like, me and Sam said, I don't remember the theory exactly, but we said that if there's a time skip, it's possible to happen around like chapter 150 or something, on when Hachimaru already goes to a couple of planets, because of what the rumor saw, like a little time future eye or something once you saw Anne and Hachimaru together, and that was actually my favorite panel. So when I asked the question to you guys, this is my answer. That was my favorite panel throughout the whole series still, because I love it when the creators does a little time future of what we know of how our character is gonna go to. And that was my favorite panel because of that, because it shows you that Hachimaru is gonna get really powerful, and he's gonna have this very cool mode of his samurai style, and Anne looks very beautiful there as well.
This panel is ridiculous. Hachimaru has like 4 samurai souls right here. That is
You better not
insane.
take Yoshitsune's soul. That's strictly for Kotsuga.
If Kotsuga doesn't get his dad's samurai soul, I'm gonna be so upset.
I'll feel bad for him though. I'll be like, damn, you kind of was worthless and did not do much then because you just didn't give your own father's sword.
Remember, he got deceived by Benki.
Oh, Benkei is trash, bro.
Because he switched out Kotsuga's blood with his blood, and that's why he didn't test positive for the sword.
Yeah, this dude Benkei is trash.
He gives 0 fucks if you think he's trash.
He doesn't.
Because he killed Kotsuga's mother, and he's like,
I like how he killed his master, and now right here he's like, alright. It happened. Let's move on.
You killed mother!
It reminds me of the Scarlet Woman in Eden Zero, because she gave 0 fucks.
That is very true. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have any more questions in the comments, write them down, because we're gonna bounce in a good 5 more minutes or so. So if you guys have any more questions about Samurai A or any feedbacks, let us know.
And we're moving on like what, 3 hours now?
Yeah, we're about
Almost.
we're literally 9 minutes away from 3 hours.
Shit, that went by.
We might as well hit that 3-hour mark.
That's why I told them 5 more minutes. So by then we have some questions to talk about, and then after that, when it hits the 3-hour mark, we're gonna end it.
Okay.
I got a question for you guys. When do you? What chapter do you think Ruma's gonna?
It's hard to tell right now since we don't know the full scale of what's the world like. Because, like, for example, if we want to compare it to My Hero, my theory that I said, I forgot how long ago. I think this was before we did our first coverage of My Hero, but my theory was all my die by chapter 300 mark or by 350. That was my expectation of when Oma is dying. It's hard to tell with Daruma since right now we don't know. I think for my perspective, my point of view, I could tell a better point of view of when he's dying by chapter 80 or 100 when we get there. If he hasn't died yet, I could tell a better point of view of how his lifespan is, how's he reacting, is he losing in battles much faster, stuff like that is when it's much easier to tell.
Well, do you
How
think
strong do
it's
you?
going to be connected to if he how many times he awakened?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's how I
think
feel like it.
that as well. But I just
Ryan-
hope he doesn't start awakening too like often.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest fear. Like unless it's like a 3-month, break or whatever. Or like, oh, after like the big battle, or like a 3-month time skip or something to make it at least realistic that the room is back.
Yeah.
One of the questions was also here saying that how strong do you guys think? Oh, excuse me. How strong do you guys think Yasha is?
Basically, Yasha's the master of Dharma. I think she's stronger than Atta, but the reason she can't fight him is because she is the leader right now of the Kongo Yasha style, and obviously she can't go out on some dangerous mission. So that's why she has her pupil, student Atta. I mean, not Atta, Dharma. Be out there in the cosmos, and she even told him, "Hey, hopefully you get a better pupil than Atta was, because you know how that turned out and stuff. Somebody that you can trust, and that is Hachimaru." So yeah, I think she's stronger than Atta, but not on the scale of like a Kala or anything like that. But she is one of the masters of the 4 schools, and she is one of the.
She's been holding them back for centuries now, so I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
We might have to put some clout on her.
That's definitely a point. And Sam just said that if a point in Hachimaru's life, he has Master Daruma and his princess Anne are both in danger in separate locations, and Hachimaru has to save one of them. Who's the best one to save for character development?
Anne.
He's got to save Anne.
He has to save Anne. Yeah, I agree as well because I bet you my man Daruma's gonna say, Hachi, you have to go save Anne. It's my time to go. This is my moment. Just like Master Jiraiya, I have to go now.
And not only that, he
I
has to
think he
save
would be
Anne.
pissed off. Like I think Daruma would be pissed off if Hachi came after him.
Most likely as well.
We've been seeing that he's always like, you need to protect Anne. Like, you need to protect Anne. And I think he's like a little bit mentally messed up from his losing his own princess. Because you saw how like upset and hurt he was when he got put in that cat body from the flashback. So that's a good. I think it would be Anne for Hachimaru's purposes because he's always wanted to be a samurai, and he looks up to Daruma. So I think it would be better for his character, honestly.
The thing is, without Anne, Hachimaru can never be at 100% power. Like, because if you lose your princess, that's it. Like you will never be 100% ever. So that's the thing. So Anne is really important and a pivotal part of Hachimaru's, character as an MC.
I got a question for you guys. Where do you think, if you guys are reading all the manga that's in Shonen Jump right now, where do you think Samurai 8 ranks, especially amongst the new manga like Mitama Security, Spirit Busters, Mission Yozakura family, Spy X family? Like, I'm not talking about like the bigger 3, like with Kimetsu no Yaiba and shit, but I'm just talking about like the newer mangas that are out.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. I don't read a lot of the newer manga, only like Kaizen, Yaiba, and Chainsaw Man. But I just think that Samurai 8, I love the series, enjoy it, but I like Chainsaw Man and like Jujutsu Kaisen better than it from what I've seen so far. But it's still one of my favorite series right now.
I was gonna agree with you on that one, Light. In terms of what I'm looking for in a story, I think Samurai is gonna fill me with what I want in the long term, but we're gonna have to get there, type of things. Whereas Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know if you guys are caught up with the manga,
Me,
Yes,
but
I am.
me,
I
I'm
covered
not.
the chapter yesterday.
but
I'm a
it's
chapter
like
behind.
you're getting all this stuff going on, and for a series at its point right now, I think it's doing a lot well. It's doing a lot better than what Samurai is doing, and I agree with that for Chainsaw Man as well. So if I had to rank it for this year alone, I'd probably say it's like number 4. But in terms of me wanting to read week to week, I stick with Samurai 8.
For me, I would have to say Samurai 8. With the current series that are less than 30 chapters right now, Samurai 8, I would say is my number 3 or 2. I like Spy Family more because I feel like it's so wholesome. And
Yes.
I don't have to put a lot of thought in it. I just read it,
Yes.
enjoy myself, and just laugh, giggle, say Anya's freaking adorable. I want a daughter like that. It's just adorable.
Yes.
I'm like, when I have kids, I better have Anya as my daughter because if my girl lets me, I would really name my daughter Anya just because of her, just how adorable she acts is so cute. But other than Spy Family, I would have to also put Mission Yazakura Family as number 2. Then Samurai 8 as number 3 because it's just that Samurai 8, I feel like as a series to react to, it's not a good series to react, but to review is very good because you can actually have a good conversation with it and kind of really
Yes.
speculate. But to do a Samurai as a reaction series is very hard because it's very a lot of lines to read. It's kind of like One Piece. One Piece is a lot of story. In this, not a lot of action. It's more story than action. And the same thing for Samurai 8 is a lot of story, a lot of reading. So it kind of
Yep.
gets, no offense to myself or to people that react to it, it gets very boring when all you hear is reading and not a lot of reaction. But when you review it, I feel like it's more entertaining when you review it because you can actually have the conversation with you and the camera talking about it. It's like us. We've just been talking about a lot of series, but overall Samurai 8, but it's very entertaining about it just to talk about it and get in depth with it. So that's I feel like with Samurai 8 as a series to react to. Overall, those two are first, but to review it, I feel like Samurai 8 is number 1 to review it and to read it.
I agree with that 100%. I love reviewing it. I feel like it doesn't give you that reactionary response that people would be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, with Samurai 8, I would say like the first maybe 15 chapters, it like until they got off planet, or no, until Hachimaru's dad died, it was kind of hard to react because
Yeah.
it was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh
It was-
my
it was
god,
difficult.
this is so
Yeah.
much information, and it's just dragging on and on and on.
100%
Oh
agree.
god, it
Yeah.
drove me nuts. But a series that I'm really interested to see, and it's only got a couple chapters out now to see how well it does, is I really like Zipman. I love the
Yes.
concept of Zipman so much. It makes me think of Planet With in a way. And
I don't
love
really,
it.
I don't really like his nickname,
I don't
but
like the nickname either, but the
but
story is
the
just
story's
so
really good.
interesting.
Oh yeah,
It really
I
is.
agree with Zipman. My favorite thing about Zipman, it feels like a Power Rangers feel, and I have no problem with that. And a lot of people I see on Twitter are kind of they hope that's not like that, but I'm like that's freaking awesome. Power Rangers type of manga with
I'm in the minority.
yeah, I'm like wait,
So
what's
With
that?
a
I would
twist,
think,
though.
yeah,
I
I
like
want
Superman
there to
that
be a
much.
twist. I don't want there to be like it needs to be downtimes, like we were saying with Samurai 8, where it needs that slice of life to let it breathe. And I feel like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but with like a lot of the new age of shonen, to me, it doesn't really give you a lot of time to breathe between this arc and the next arc, if that makes sense. So I think if it's allowed to give its story time to breathe, but also give us, these good moments where we're not like feeling like, oh, this is just dragging on. I feel like it can really hit its stride, because when I was reading Eden Zero, the first 12 chapters or so, I didn't feel like it was dragging at all. Like the pace was very nice.
That's good. That's good about that. And we did reach our 3 hour mark, so I wanna have us, the panelists, talk about our last thoughts about Samurai A, or 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 anything that we have on our chest to talk about the series overall.
It's dope. Go read it.
The last thing I want to say is, if you read Samurai 8 Chapter 1 and dropped it, just go back to it. It gets better. The art gets better. The story gets better. And the pacing gets better. And of course, who cannot forget about the great character of Hashimaru?
I'm going to say this about Samurai. It took a little bit, just like it did with Yui Kamiya, which got dropped. Shouldn't have freaking taken so long for it to get good. But anyway, Samurai 8 took a little bit to catch its stride. I really love Kotsuga. I don't know what it is with me. I just don't like the main characters. I love the side characters more. Side characters have just been really interesting lately.
They have.
When you get past or when you get to the part where Hachimaru's dad dies, that's where it starts getting good, because you finally go off planet and get to explore a little bit, and you get to meet Ryu and Kotsuga, who are like the best characters in this. But like with the manga, I've realized this, like especially like when I went into, I'm gonna give you an example. Went into Domestic Girlfriend. I did not think I was gonna like that manga, but holy shit, like it's just freaking amazing. You just never know what you get with manga, so you just got to be extremely open-minded.
That's true.
Yes, that's definitely true, and I'm happy you guys were here. I did my best to host the stream, and hopefully I did my best to entertain everybody here with these lovely people in this panelist. It was great to have them here, so I hope we all had a good time. And what do you guys want to give your plugs before we go?
Well, first I want to say thank you for everybody that watched the stream live. You guys are all awesome, and thanks for the support. You can check me out, Light One Films, YouTube, Samurai Reviews, more Black Clover anime reviews. That's why I was defending Black Clover anime so much, even though the animation is trash. And yeah, that's it. That's my little plug there.
So
Dean?
you can, I'll go next. So you can check out my channel, Nerdigans Inc. I cover like just about everything when
guys.
it comes to manga.
She does cover a lot.
I do live reactions.
She does cover a lot.
Extremely obscure series that no one has ever heard of. And actually, the mangaka, I've been finding out that the mangaka for one of the obscure series that I cover, Abyss Rage, has actually been watching my content and reached out to me, which is really cool to know that the mangaka are actually watching my stuff.
Ishimoto
you can
watched
hit
my
me,
stuff.
hit me up on Twitter, Packer P9CKER_. And my other information is on my channel.
Yeah, so my name's Deblakte. Like I said, I do Samurai 8. Yeah, come through. This was dope, by the way. Really well organized. I enjoyed the discussion, and I can't wait to do it again. So
Yeah, hopefully we could do it again, maybe sometime in March or
Maybe do an Eden Zero discussion, or
yeah.
Oh, I would love. Let me catch up.
Or
Let me
just a
catch up to
Rashomon
Eden
discussion.
Zero.
I definitely don't mind doing a Eden Zero discussion in 2020 and like have more people involved.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably do this. A good once a month. Probably have Kid Otaku involved here as well, because he also reads Eden Zero. So it was a pleasure.
Cool.
So it was a pleasure having you guys here. If you guys want to follow them on their Twitter or their YouTube, it's all in the description down below. So definitely, guys, go sub to them, check them out. It was a good time to have you guys here. And that's about it, guys. So appreciate it, and thank you very much, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.